Hi everyone, good morning. I see a few of you have joined. काफी लोग चरण स्पर्श भी कर रहे हैं. कैसे हैं मनीषा? Good to see you. Hi Om. Om uses a lot of emojis. Happy Sunday as well, Gautam. Aniket, Dhruv, Chaudhary Chaitanya, Khushi, Mr. Pathak, Jignesh. Oh, Miss Pathak. सरनेम पहले लिखा, ये कौन सा अमेरिकन तरीका है? Good, Ayush, I see joined. Deepak Bhai has joined. Okay, we have people joining in. We'll just give them 20-25 seconds. Also, if you have any questions from the last session, do not hesitate to ask. Also, please ask good questions. Like I keep saying, right now you know what to expect from the sessions. अच्छे questions पूछिए, meaningful questions पूछिए. We have done chapter 1, पूरा chapter 2 almost आज हो जाएगा next 15-20 minutes में. And then we go to chapter 3. Good. Okay, we have Anand, we have Fatima is there, Asif is there, right? Okay, Jannat, Priyanka, Vadehi. Good, 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 good. नो क्वेश्चंस. मजे ही आ गए. मेरी जॉब बहुत इजी कर दी आपने. थैंक यू. आई हैव नो क्वेश्चंस, सो गुड फॉर मी. व्हाट एल्स? हाउस द वेदर? हाउ आर थिंग्स एट योर प्लेस? प्रॉब्ली इट्स अ संडे. आई नो संडे पढ़ाई करना इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट, बट ठीक है, अभी क्या कर सकते हैं. आई एम गुड. एस के, हाउ आर यू? हाँ सूरज, मैं ही हूँ. मेरे से ही खरीदो सारी चॉकलेट आप. ये गूस मॉर्निंग क्या होता है विशाल? विशाल इज स्टिल हाफ asleep. गुड का गूस हो गया है. नो क्वेश्चंस. सुपर. I was thinking that we'll have a lot of questions because yesterday's session was quite hectic, was quite concept based. तो मुझे लग रहा था काफी questions आएंगे. Okay, can we students create LinkedIn profile? Absolutely. Go there, create a LinkedIn profile. It's अच्छा. अब Instagram. Can you kids or students have an Instagram account? Answer is yes. तो LinkedIn क्यों नहीं हो सकता भाई तेरा? बताइए. सुपर. सीए है तो संडे पढ़ाई करनी पड़ेगी. बिल्कुल. ओके, आई थिंक majority of people are there. What is fiscal policy? Okay, I see a question. What is fiscal policy? स्नेह मोए, पहले ये बताओ आप क्या समझते हो fiscal policy से? Even before me explaining what a fiscal policy is, you tell me what a fiscal policy is. Or anybody, it's a question, it's an open question to everyone. कल हमने पढ़ा था. I have already uploaded this chapter के notes, which is this PPT on the BOS app. You should get it. And if you have revised, who can tell me what is fiscal policy? It's an open question. दर्शिका says we don't have an Insta account. Good for you दर्शिका. जितनी देर बचोगे उतना अच्छा है. ओम के पास भी नहीं है. ये कैसे पॉसिबल कैसे है? 11th 12th अब क्लियर कर ली, इंस्टा काम नहीं है. बड़े अच्छे बच्चे हो यार. मॉक टेस्ट हिंदी में भी आएगा. यू विल हैव एन ऑप्शन. विशाल, आपको ऑप्शन मिलता है जब आप एग्जाम फॉर्म भरते हो ना, आपको एग्जाम की अपनी लैंग्वेज सेलेक्ट करने का मौका मिलता है. यू कैन ईदर सेलेक्ट इंग्लिश और हिंदी. सेम मॉक टेस्ट हिंदी में भी आएगा. सो अगर आप जो सेलेक्ट करोगे लैंग्वेज आपको उसी में मिलेगा. सिर्फ आज ही लग रहा हूँ आयुष, वैसे नहीं लगता मैं. ये किसी तारीफ है दोस्त. पीपीटी इज ऑलरेडी अपलोडेड. रिफ्रेश होने का टाइम दो या तो. आई हैव ऑलरेडी अपलोडेड इट yesterday जस्ट आफ्टर द क्लास. तो 24 घंटे हो गए हैं वैसे तो. मे बी वेट फॉर अनदर सम आवर्स, रिफ्रेश हो जाएगा. ओके, फिस्कल पॉलिसीज, पॉलिसी रिलेटेड टू गवर्नमेंट बजट, अबाउट पॉलिसी रिलेटेड टू टैक्सेशन. ठीक है. व्हाट एल्स? Qualitative measure to it's a qualitative measure to control money supply. That's a good one. When but money supply वो monetary policy नहीं होता है. वो तो you're right, मनी सप्लाई फिस्कल ही होता है. पॉलिसीज टेकन ऑन फाइनेंस. फिस्कल पॉलिसी मींस टैक्सेशन, बजटिंग, खर्चा कैसे करेंगे. फिस्कल मींस खर्चा कैसे करेंगे, राइट? फिस्कल policies are more around how will you make money as a government, plus how will you spend that money, where will you spend that money, is what fiscal policy is all about. Okay, great. Very good. A lot of people say I don't have Instagram account. You guys are devta devi bhai. कैसे नहीं है? I spend 24 hours watching reels. आप लोग कुछ कर ही नहीं, बढ़िया है भाई, बढ़िया है। पवन, ऑल क्वेश्चंस अबाउट मी लास्ट क्लास। ठीक है, अभी तो मिस्ट्री है ना, तो मजा आएगा। If you want to know how and when I became a CA, what were my tips and tricks, एग्जाम रिलेटेड कुछ भी, लास्ट सेशन पूरा 2 घंटे हम लोग ये बातचीत करेंगे। एग्जाम रिलेटेड मैंने क्या किया, कैसे किया, ठीक है। कूल। Let's get to what we are here for, right? We'll spend next 2 hours. The agenda for today will be very simple. Next 20-25 minutes हम लोग करेंगे अपना chapter 2 complete, which is pestle analysis and certain ways how do you tackle certain methods, certain tricks, certain ways a business can tackle business environment. वो पढ़ेंगे कि internally क्या change कर सकता है, holistically externally क्या change कर सकते हैं, to understand how do we tackle and convert a threat into opportunities, essentially, right? The idea of business analysis or business environment analysis is not just to know what's happening in the environment, but also responding to the environment. How do you respond to those changes? How do you respond to those scenarios and conditions? उसको बोलते हैं responding to the business environment, वो आज पढ़ेंगे. Very interesting things, great examples up for you, right? I'm seeing your answers, Aditi. Policy of regulating taxation, that's absolutely right. Okay. And then we will do chapter number 3, which looks a little boring. Okay, which I know there are too many companies, too many things to remember. बहुत सारी organizations हैं, उनके बारे में पढ़ना होता है. But I'll let you know what is important, what can be skipped, how to study that chapter. So it's going to be interesting for you to know how to study chapter number 3 today. Okay, so that's our main aim, to let you know chapter 3 भैया पढ़ते कैसे हैं. ठीक है, बिकॉज वो ऐसा लगता है कि सब कुछ रट के जाना पड़ेगा, जबकि आइडियली नहीं, सब कुछ नहीं, थोड़ा बहुत हाँ, बट सब कुछ नहीं. ओके, विद दैट लेट्स गेट टू, आई लाइक टीचिंग ऑन संडेज, राइट विदिशा? एब्सोल्युटली यस. मेरे को कोई काम नहीं है, मेरे को बस यही काम है. मेरे को कुछ नहीं करना चाहिए, मुझे सिर्फ संडे अपना पढ़ाना है, ठीक है. ओके, लेट्स गेट टू पेस्टल एनालिसिस, व्हिच इज बेसिकली हमने पढ़ा स्वॉट एनालिसिस, ठीक है जी. वी टॉक्ड अबाउट स्वॉट एनालिसिस इन द लास्ट सेशन. वी टॉक्ड अबाउट स्ट्रेंथ, वीकनेस, अपॉर्चुनिटी, थ्रेट. स्वॉट एनालिसिस क्या करता है? आपको स्ट्रेंथ बताता है आपकी इंटरनल, आपकी वीकनेस बताता है इंटरनली, what are the opportunities in external environment and what are the threats in external environment, and then it helps you understand how do you convert the threats into opportunities using your strength and overcoming your weakness. As simple as that. But pestle analysis is specific to external environment. That too, which one? Macro. ठीक है दोस्त. टेस्टल एनालिसिस मैक्रो एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट का एनालिसिस करने का एक टूल है, which tells you what areas you need to focus on, which is political, economic, socio-cultural, technological, legal, and environment. PESTLE. Pestle analysis. Okay, it helps you focus on the areas in the macro external environment that a business should know and should take care of while creating strategies, while analyzing the business environment, which is political, economic, social, cultural, technological, legal, and environmental. Each of these has been done. Each of this has been done, right, right in the previous session. हम लोग कर चुके हैं in depth each of these elements. तो पेस्ट एनालिसिस बस इतना याद रखने की जरूरत है, nothing to go into in depth. Okay. SWOT is environment as a whole, both internal as well external. PESTEL only for macro external environment. Right? ये आपके पास notes already हैं, upload हो चुके हैं. Wait for today, maybe you'll get it, then you can revise. Right? Perfect. Right. Let's go to understanding strategic responses to the environment. Okay. Strategic responses to the environment are two types, internal and holistic. मुझे कौन बताएगा holistic का मतलब क्या होता है? What is ethnic mix? Mix of cultures is called ethnic mix. Okay. Allocation of budget is fiscal policy. That is right. इंटर एंड फाइनल मैथ स्पेशल सब्जेक्ट आएगा क्या? विशाल, मैंने तो आपको बताया पूरा नया सिलेबस का और पुराने सिलेबस का डॉक्यूमेंट है सीए की वेबसाइट पे, आईसीए की वेबसाइट पे जाओ, सब मिलेगा दोस्त. ट्रिपल बॉटम लाइन, आई टेल यू आफ्टर वी डू दिस, आशा. Good, Ashad. Who will tell me what does holistic mean? Wholly, completely. Okay. Anshika says wholly or completely. Okay. Anybody else wants to try this? Religious, actually, not sure. No, holistic is not religious, which covers the whole organization. Okay. Holistic means overall. Okay. That's a good one, Pratima. होलिस्टिक संपूर्ण रूप से, ये गूगल सर्च वाली जनता आ चुकी है चैट में. ठीक है, संपूर्ण रूप से. ठीक है दोस्त. राइट. सो होलिस्टिक मींस ओवरऑल, इट मींस एज अ होल, इट मींस राइट इन टोटैलिटी, दैट मींस होलिस्टिक. अब मैं आपको बोलूं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, लेट्स टेक एन एग्जाम्पल टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस वर्ड फर्स्ट एंड देन वी गेट इनटू द रिस्पॉन्सेज. If you are good at studies but you are really poor at communication, you cannot present, you cannot do public speaking, are you a holistic professional? Yes or no? You're excellent at technical skills but you're very poor at communication. आप बोल ही नहीं पाते हो स्टेज पे किसी के सामने, आप प्रेजेंट नहीं कर पाते हो. You get scared, you get nervous, you're not able to get onto the stage, talk in front of thousands of people. Are you a holistic professional? The answer would be no, right? Holistic means overall. Holistic means everything, including everything. So if I say you have to be a holistic student, that means you should be good at every subject. मैं ऑडिट में टॉपर हूं बट मेरे से भाई स्ट्रेटेजिक मैनेजमेंट नहीं होता. आई एम वेरी पुअर एट टैक्सेशन बट आई एम वेरी गुड एट ऑडिट. डजंट हेल्प. I will not clear the course. I might clear my audit with exemption, but my tax में हो सकता है मुझे issue आ जाए. So that means you will not be successful in the examination. So that means you're not a holistic student. What CA, what this course is checking you is being a holistic student. That means overall, सब में अच्छा खासा अच्छा होना चाहिए आपको. They're not asking for perfection. The course is not asking for perfection. The course is asking for a holistic individual, right? टैक्स में 40 प्लस ठीक है, ऑडिट में 40 प्लस ठीक है, राइट. ओवरऑल 200 प्लस. यस, दे लुकिंग एट होलिस्टिक. That is what holistic means. Okay. Now let's get to where we are in the chapter. Focus on the slides. Internal and holistic ways of responding to the environment. Internal means अंदर अपने आप में मैं क्या चेंज करूं is my internal response to the environment. Something happens in the environment. What do I change within myself? That is internal response. Holistic is how do I respond in an overall thing. अभी आपको समझ नहीं आएगा क्या ये क्या मतलब हुआ. हम पढ़ते हैं response and then you'll get to what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, internal strategies are of three types: administrative, competitive, and collective response. ठीक है जी. Three strategies to respond to the business environment internally. Internally are one, administrative, two, competitive, and three is collective response. What does this mean? Okay. Internal strategy. Quickly, let's take an example. You are planning to do a particular course. Let's say आप yoga class जाते हो, ठीक है? You're planning to go to a yoga class and your friend says, yeah, and you planned it to go with your friend and your friend says, नहीं मेरे को नहीं जाना. I don't want to continue the yoga class, but you want to continue the yoga class. तो आप आपके environment में कुछ change हो गया. Your external environment, right? Your external environment had a change. Your friends said, we don't want to go to the yoga class, we don't want to continue, but you want to go to the yoga class. So there are three kinds of responses you can have, right? You can change something internally, right? या तो आप अपना thought process change कर लो, right? You change your own thought process, you become confident yourself कि ठीक है तुम्हें नहीं जाना मत जाओ मैं तो चला जाऊंगा, right? You become self-sufficient, right? Or you find new friends, और यू फाइंड न्यू फ्रेंड्स. ठीक है जी, कि भाई नए दोस्त बना लेते हैं, वहां जाके नए दोस्त बना लेंगे, राइट. और मे बी लेट्स सी व्हाट यू कैन डू within these things as a business as well. But you understand the concept of internal strategy that you have to change yourself to adapt to an external environment. ठीक है. Administrative response क्या होता है दोस्त? Administrative response is the most common form of response. इंटरनल की बात हो रही है अभी सिर्फ, ठीक है? इट्स द मोस्ट कॉमन फॉर्म ऑफ इंटरनल रिस्पॉन्स. इट मीन्स changing the way you do your business. Changing the way you do your business. You want to write it down somewhere, write it down somewhere. Formulating or revising organization's mission means you change the way you do your business. Okay. काम करने का तरीका बदल दो अपना. To change the way you do your business. That's formulating or revising an organization's mission. Development of objectives, policies and budgets. You relook at your plans. आप अपनी प्लानिंग, आप अपने प्लान्स के को रीलुक करना चालू करते हो. यू स्टार्ट रिवाइजिंग योर प्लान्स, right? Because something has changed in your environment. An administrative response of internal strategy is, first, you change the way you do business. Second, because you're changing the way you do business, you have to revise or relook at your plans, right? This can either be proactive or reactive. Maybe you could figure out that your friends, when you took the test class or let's say a demo class, they were not interested. So you already proactively knew कि ये लोग join नहीं करेंगे. Or you can either be reactive, you wait for them to tell you that they don't want to join, and then you plan how you want to continue with the yoga class, right? It can either be proactive or reactive, both, but it's always better to be proactive, right? होने से पहले planning कर लोगे तो better है. First, and maybe the last point is, focus is on defining the organization's purpose. You start refocusing on how do I want to define my business purpose, right? For example, I think we'll take an example as well here, right? Let's say there's a big junk food brand. There's a big junk food brand, and they figure out that boss, people are moving to healthier options. People don't want to eat junk anymore. So what they do is they introduce a new line of very healthy options. For example, let's say McDonald's starts the salads, right? सलाद बेचना शुरू कर दें मैकडोनल्ड्स. ठीक है, तो आप कहोगे यार वेरी गुड, ये तो हेल्दी ऑप्शन भी है. मुझे मैकडोनल्ड्स एज अ ब्रांड, आई लाइक मैकडोनल्ड्स एज अ ब्रांड. नाउ इट आल्सो गिव्स मी सैलेड्स, राइट? आपको लेट्स सैलेड है, कॉर्न सैलेड है, चिकन सैलेड है, देने लग जाए, दे सकते हैं, बड़ी बात नहीं है उनके लिए. दे आर फोकसिंग on defining their organization's purpose with the change. Administrative, they're changing the way they do the business. They're changing their plans. They're changing their core business purpose. कि यार हम लोग जंक फूड नहीं, हम लोग हेल्दी फूड भी बेचेंगे अब, right? That's called administrative response to external environment. जब आप अपना काम करने का तरीका, जब आप अपनी सोच, जब आप अपना पर्पस ऑफ द बिजनेस जिसके लिए काम कर रहे हो वो बदल देते हो टू अडेप्ट टू द एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट, उसको बोलते हैं एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव रिस्पॉन्स. ठीक है. सेकेंड इज कंपेटिटिव रिस्पॉन्स. कंपेटिटिव रिस्पॉन्स होता है, इट इज जनरली यूज्ड बाय बिग प्रॉफिट मेकिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, राइट? दे क्रिएट अ कंपेटिटिव एडवांटेज ओवर द राइवल्स. अब आप क्या करोगे? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, देयर इज समथिंग चेंजिंग. Now you create a competitive advantage over your rivals so that जो बाहर का change हो रहा है, you can tackle that. For example, continuing with the same example and then we'll talk about the business. आपके friends ने बोला, I don't want to go to the yoga class. He said, I want to go to the yoga class because I want to be fit, I want to be healthy. मुझे बैक पेन होता है, मुझे शोल्डर पेन होता है, मेरी रिस्ट में पेन होता है. मेरे हाउ do I get ahead of my business? What is that unique thing that I can do that others are not doing and I can win over the competition? As simple as that. उसको बोलते हैं competitive response, right? कुछ ऐसा कर दो चेंज की वजह से कि राइवल हमें पकड़ ही ना पाए. राइवल सोचे यार ये तो बहुत आगे निकल गया हमसे. दैट इज व्हाट माइक्रोसॉफ्ट इज डूइंग, राइट? इफ यू लुक एट दिस, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, चैट जीपीटी आ रहा है, ऑल ऑफ दिस कोडिंग एंड एवरीथिंग इज गोइंग टू आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, राइट? मशीन लर्निंग एंड ऑल ऑफ दिस. Microsoft is buying companies like it's in Sarojini Nagar, like it's in some a big uh, Gandhi Bazaar or a local market. Any company which is doing good in AI, Microsoft goes and buys that company. They're creating a competitive advantage over Facebook. They're creating a competitive advantage over Google. They're creating a competitive advantage over Oracle, Adobe. जितनी भी बड़ी बड़ी IT companies हैं, उनसे जीतने के लिए what are they doing is the environment is changing. Now they're creating their competitive advantage that we are the leaders in AI. जो कंपनी अच्छा करे खरीदते जाओ. That is how they're creating a competitive advantage. It's a competitive response to things that are changing around them, right? That's a competitive response. Okay. Number three, कलेक्टिव रिस्पॉन्स. जो मैं आपको अभी बता रहा था, आपके दोस्त नहीं जा रहे, कोई बात नहीं, मैं नए दोस्त बना के ले जाऊंगा उनको, राइट? कलेक्टिव रिस्पॉन्स मीन्स you get into alliances, you get into contracting, you get into joint ventures, strategic alliance, consortias, bargaining terms. You start taking help from other businesses. You join hands, you work together as a team. For example, Tata and Shapurji Palonji मिलके मेट्रो बना रहे हैं. अकेले भी बना सकते थे, बट दे थॉट इट्स अ वेरी ह्यूज प्रोजेक्ट. बहुत ज्यादा रिस्क है प्रोजेक्ट में, बट रिटर्न्स अच्छे हो सकते हैं. लेट्स वर्क टुगेदर, right? Two or three businesses coming together on a single project is called collective response. If you think something is happening in the environment, what do? You reach out to your friends in the business, you reach out to your competitors, you reach out to your rivals. You can reach out to anybody you think is strategically wise. आप फोन उठाते हैं, उनको फोन करते हैं, दोस्त बहुत बड़ा चेंज आने वाला है, बहुत बड़ा एनवायरनमेंट में रिस्क दिख रहा है, लेट अस वर्क टुगेदर एंड ओवरकम दिस रिस्क. Anybody would say yes because they also will face the same risk. It's an external environment, दोस्त. सबके लिए सेम होने वाला है. If something is changing, or let's say, for example, मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देते हैं. आप maybe that sea link that Mumbai government is that Maharashtra government is making, right? अपना पूरा they're making a sea link kind of a road, whatever it is, coastal road and everything. Let's take that example, okay? Now, it's a huge project. It's a huge multi-crore, like thousands of crores of rupees of project. Okay, big companies will come together. They have already come together to work on it. टाटा बोलेगा यार बहुत बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट है बट रिस्क भी बहुत है, कंप्लीट करना है टाइम में, इट विल नीड अ लॉट ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट. लेट मी आस्क L&T इफ दे कैन हेल्प. लेट मी आस्क Godrej if that they can help. Let me ask XYZ company if they can help. Right? Let us sit together. Let us share profits. एक joint venture बनाते हैं, एक strategic alliance बनाते हैं, and let us come together and do that project. It's a change in the environment. It's an opportunity in the environment. And you can probably come together with your competitors and friends to overcome that. As simple as that. ये भी एक तरीका है response का, right? That is how the three responses work, right? Administrative, change yourself, the way you do your business. Competitive, you do something better than your competition. Number three, you join hands with your competition to gain advantage of an opportunity or to fight an upcoming threat. As simple as that. तीन तरीकों से आप internal strategy है आपकी to respond to the environment, right? Administrative, competitive and collective. ठीक है जी. There's a question on your screen now. What is consortia? Consortia means when 3 or 4 companies come together, we call it consortia. Hero Honda, Tata Starbucks, ये सब collective response है. Tata Starbucks पकड़ लो, Tata Indian Starbucks US, joint venture है. वैसे this is a strategic alliance. Tata Tata and Starbucks is a strategic alliance. Okay. There's a thing on your screen. There is a news on your screen, right? It's a latest news. If you have heard this, what kind of a strategy is Foxconn doing? Consortia, when 2 or 3 companies come together. Suhana, Prajita, right? I want all of you to answer, please. Plus आंसर कीजिएगा. ठीक है. आंसर करेंगे तभी सीखेंगे, वरना तो ऐसे प्रवचन सुन के तो एग्जाम नहीं क्लियर होने वाला दोस्त. I don't see a lot of people answering. You should totally answer. Question नहीं है दोस्त. यही है question. This is a news that Foxconn is going to invest in India, right? In Tamil Nadu. What kind of a response is this? Because there is a semiconductor challenge. There is a political challenge in China. China is facing a lot of trouble from US. So Foxconn, right, और Taiwan and China में बहुत conflict चल रहा है. Foxconn is a Taiwanese company. They want to invest in India now. What kind of response is this? The answer is collective. The answer is collective. Okay. They are coming together. They are coming together and joining hands with a lot of Indian companies, Indian government, right? Collective response से आ रहे हैं. They're not changing the way they do the business. They're not changing your plans, boss. What they're doing is they are joining hands with Indian companies. They're joining hands with Indian manufacturers, Indian government, state government of Tamil Nadu, that let's come and do business together. There's a huge opportunity in the market. Let's work together, collective. Let's work together to gain advantage of this opportunity. It's a collective response, my friend. ठीक है जी. Absolutely. Palak, you didn't get the question. This is a news, okay? How do you read news? बिजनेस न्यूज पढ़ते हैं तो कैसे पढ़नी होती है? आपको एक न्यूज दिखती है, ये मैंने गूगल से बस स्क्रीनशॉट लिया है, कुछ नहीं किया मैंने. Foxconn is investing money in India, in Tamil Nadu, right? It's अब ये पढ़िए, Taiwanese Foxconn has signed a deal with Tamil Nadu to invest 16 billion rupees in the new electronic component manufacturing unit, right? ये न्यूज क्या है? दे आर रिस्पॉन्डिंग टू एन अपॉर्चुनिटी इन इंडिया. कलेक्टिवली सरकार के साथ मिलके काम करना चाह रहे हैं. इट्स कलेक्टिव रिस्पॉन्स. ओके, दैट इज हाउ यू रीड न्यूज. हर चीज क्वेश्चन नहीं आएगी. The second way of responses is holistic responses. It is more of a psychological response. ठीक है, एक psychological response होता है. Let's take an example. Okay, let's take an example. Give me how you. It's a question to you. What kind of a person you are? Okay, what kind of a person you are? Are you really energetic? कुछ भी आपको काम दिया जाता है आप एकदम से करते. Do you do that in the moment you get a work, right? Or you take time, you understand how to do it and then you do it, or you are super lazy and you do not even care. करना भाड़ में जाए, हमें नहीं करना काम, right? What kind of a personality do you have? Tell me. हरिकेश, एग्जाम इंग्लिश में देगा दोस्त हिंदी में? पहले ये बताओ. हरिकेश, एग्जाम इंग्लिश में दे रहे हैं हिंदी में? ठीक है, पीपल सिंग सेकंड. नो, आई नेवर सेकंड. टाइम लेके करती हैं. एनर्जेटिक, टेक टाइम, सुपर लेजी, सुपर फास्ट, राइट? सम ऑफ यू आर सेकंड, सम ऑफ यू आर वेरी एनर्जेटिक, सम ऑफ यू आर वेरी लेजी, राइट? some of you like to understand what is to be done. समझते हो काम को और फिर करते हो. हरिकेश इंग्लिश में देगा ना दोस्त एग्जाम्स. सो आई एम ओके इन टॉकिंग अबाउट इन हिंदी. ठीक है, मैं हिंदी में बताऊंगा, मेरे को कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. बट माई ओनली एसेंस यार, फिर सीखेगा कैसे इंग्लिश? मैं पूरी क्लास हिंदी में पढ़ा सकता हूँ, बट फिर इंग्लिश सीखेगा कैसे दोस्त? कोई स्पेसिफिक कॉन्सेप्ट समझना है ना, मुझे बताना, मैं आपको हिंदी में बताऊंगा. बट ट्राई टू डू दैट इन इंग्लिश एज वेल, राइट? अब जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपको क्या समझना है मुझे बताओ, मैं आपको हिंदी में समझा दूंगा. आधी जनता तो सुपर लेजी है, काफी एनर्जेटिक हीरोपंती भी कर रहे हैं लोग, कह रहे हैं हम तो बहुत एनर्जेटिक है. ठीक है जी, दिख रहा है कितने एनर्जेटिक हो. फर्स्ट आई अंडरस्टैंड एंड देन आई वर्क ऑन इट. लोग कह रहे हैं ठीक है जी, हम तो काम समझते हैं फिर करते हैं. यही तीन रिस्पॉन्सेज हैं दोस्त. होलिस्टिक. होलिस्टिक रिस्पॉन्सेज ऑफ द बिजनेस आर ऑल्सो दीज थ्री. फर्स्ट, राइट, सम पीपल आर सुपर लेजी. कुछ बिजनेसेस एकदम आलसी होते हैं, कह रहे भाड़ में जाओ, हमें नहीं फर्क पड़ता जो चेंज हो रहा है, होने दो, वी डोंट केयर. हमें सोने दो यार, हमें नींद पूरी करने दो, हमें नहीं फर्क पड़ता कि क्या व्हाट इज चेंजिंग इन द एनवायरनमेंट, वी डोंट केयर. नंबर वन. नंबर टू, पीपल आर लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज चेंजिंग. वी विल अंडरस्टैंड फर्स्ट, पहले समझेंगे आसपास क्या चल रहा है, उसके बाद वी विल टेक स्टेप्स. ठीक है जी, दैट इज सेकेंड रिस्पॉन्स. थर्ड होलिस्टिक रिस्पॉन्स इज एनर्जेटिक. ऐसे कैसे बदलाव हो गया, मैं अभी जाके ठीक कर देता हूँ, राइट? बहुत एनर्जेटिक बिजनेसेस होते हैं. देयर आर थर्ड टाइप्स ऑफ बिजनेसेस विच आर सुपर एनर्जेटिक, विच आर लाइक चेंज होने से पहले ही मैं अपनी तैयारी कर लूंगा जी. चेंज तो बाद में आएगा, तैयार मैं पहले हो जाऊंगा, राइट? दैट इज द थर्ड वे ऑफ रिस्पॉन्डिंग टू एक्सटर्नल एनवायरमेंट. ओके, नाउ नाउ आपको हो गया, खत्म हो गया. First way of responding to external environment is least resistance. This is holistic responses, like which are psychological ways. हमने तीन internal पढ़ लिए, internal ways, but holistic means attitude क्या है business का, business का attitude towards the change क्या है. That is holistic response. The attitude of business towards the change. Number one, least resistance. जो हो रहा है होने दो, हमें फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. MTNL, BSNL, नोकिया, मोटोरोला, आउट ऑफ बिजनेस. इनका धंधा ही बंद हो गया, राइट? ये धंधा ही बंद हो गया दोस्त. ठीक है, वाई? बिकॉज दे डिड नॉट रिस्पॉन्ड टू द एनवायरमेंट. लीस्ट रेजिस्टेंस, कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता है, राइट? दे जस्ट मैनेज टू सर्वाइव बाय कोपिंग विद चेंज. ऑब्जेक्टिव इज जैसा चल रहा है चलने दो. नॉट एम्बिशियस, वेरी पैसिव. No transformation happens in these businesses. Number one attitude, number one holistic response to external environment changes is least resistance. Number two, proceed with caution. जो काफी लोग आप थे सेकंड ऑप्शन बोल रहे थे, राइट? प्रोसीड विद कॉशन. पहले समझेंगे क्या हो रहा है, एंड देन वी विल डू व्हाट, एंड देन वी विल अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज टू बी डन. ना हम लेजी हैं, ना हम बहुत एनर्जेटिक है. हम धीरे, वी वांट टू वर्क विद विजडम, वी वांट टू वर्क विद टाइम, राइट? टाइम लेके काम करना चाहते हैं. वी वांट टू बी परफेक्ट. दैट्स कॉल्ड प्रोसीड विद कॉशन. These businesses monitor and identify changes. They change their goals and objectives. These are keywords. ये आपको क्वेश्चन में कहीं भी ये कीवर्ड दिखेगा ना, आप समझ जाना कौन से रिस्पॉन्स की बात हो रही है. ओके, द मोमेंट यू रीड द कीवर्ड, दीज कीवर्ड्स आर सुपर इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट? The businesses, so for example, I say there is a business XYZ, they were monitoring and identifying the changes before they would implement a change strategy. What kind of holistic response are they opting for? Answer is proceed with caution. Monitor and identify कर रहे हैं, right? Keyword. Change their goals and objectives. Slowly adapt to new environment, right? Least resistance does not adapt to the environment. Proceed with caution, slowly adapts to the new environment. They consider the environment as given situation and then they react for survival. They are not proactive, they are reactive. Least resistance, फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता. Proceed with caution, reacts to changes. कुछ हो गया, ठीक है, अब देखते हैं क्या करना है, right? Like Airtel. Airtel is slowly, steadily moving up, right? 3G, 4G, 5G, no complaints, customer centric, speed, metro cities. धीरे धीरे धीरे, they're building onto a very big business, slowly and steadily, one step at a time. Right? कोई जल्दी नहीं है एयरटेल को. एयरटेल इज नॉट लाइक जियो. तोड़ दो फाड़ दो, लैपटॉप भी, फोन भी, इंटरनेट भी, जियो सिनेमा भी, सब कुछ फ्री देते रहो. नहीं, एयरटेल लाइक ठीक है, रिलैक्स, आराम से धंधा बनाएंगे. वी विल मेक अ ह्यूज बिजनेस बट विद कॉशन, but with care, right? That's called proceed with caution. Number two. Number three, dynamic response. Reliance Jio, right? They're like, change क्या होता है? चेंज कुछ नहीं है, हम चेंज करेंगे इंडस्ट्री. वी आर द चेंज मेकर्स. वी आर द वन हु विल ब्रिंग चेंज इन द इंडस्ट्री. वी आर द प्रोएक्टिव वंस. दे कंसिडर environment as a controllable and manageable thing. They think they are the kings and queens of the environment. They will bring new technology. They will bring new strategies to the environment, right? They're conscious and confident of their strength. They know their strengths very well and they play on it. They try to convert threats into opportunities. These are called dynamic responses of a business. Classic example right now is Reliance Jio, right? Dynamic response होता है. They're not slow in changing. They're like, ये क्या है? उठाओ फेंक दो, उठाओ change कर दो, right? That is dynamic response. Okay, great. I see a few questions. Which response will be the best? Depends on your personality. If you're lazy, you can never go for dynamic response. You will fail because आपका personality ही नहीं है. So every business has its own personality, and the response depends on that personality. Okay. Okay. Which holistic response is favorable depends on again the personality of the business. What can we call the merging of idea? The merging of idea with Vodafone. See, in terms of that, that's a collective response. Okay, that's a collective response. But यहाँ पे I would say proceed with caution. They're proceeding with caution. They're trying to adapt to changes slowly, steadily. It's not working for them. For them, that's a separate thing. But they're proceeding with caution. That's right, Aniket. सर्वगुण संपन्न है आपका डायनामिक रिस्पॉन्स. ठीक है जी. ग्रेट. कंपाइलेशन से आउट हो गई. व्हाट इज दैट? इंद्रजीत, सवाल नहीं समझ आया मुझे. कंपाइलेशन से आउट हो गई. व्हाट इज कंपाइलेशन से आउट हो गई एंड हाउ इज दिस अ क्वेश्चन? थोड़ा सा समझाओ सर प्लीज. आई डोंट नो अंकित, शायद मेरा तो नहीं है ये. पता नहीं कौन सा आप यूट्यूब अकाउंट लिख रहे हैं. भैया मैंने तो कभी नहीं देखा ये. राइट. So internal responses are three kinds. Administrative, you change yourself. Competitive, you become better than your competition. Number three, collective, you join hands with your competition to get the best of the opportunity. Holistic responses are again three. Least resistance, फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. Proceed with caution. धीरे धीरे समझदारी से आगे बढ़ते हैं. You proceed taking a toll of what's happening in the environment and then making changes. Dynamic response, तोड़ फाड़ मचा देंगे. Right? You are very proactive as a business. You take steps. You consider environment as controllable and manageable. That's called dynamic response. Cool. Again, there's a news on your screen. There's a news snippet, right, from March 2023 on your screen. Understand what the news is and tell me what kind of a response is that. Patanjali is dynamic response. I feel so. Yes, Patanjali is also very dynamic. Absolutely, Kishore. That's a fair point. If you're not very aware of how the dynamic response would be, how competitors will respond to your dynamic response, it can be risky. But risk है तो इश्क है. If you've seen that Harshad Mehta web series. Change in objective, pre-react नहीं है. Competition से बाहर हो गई. Majority जनता saying dynamic, least resistance, least resistance, least resistance. कुछ लोग dynamic लिख रहे हैं. Bhavani has Bhavani, like I don't know how do you like pronounce your name. I'll say Bhavani. Okay, Bhavani is saying proceed with caution in italics. वाह, आपने तो font ही change कर दिया. Great. Majority जनता says least resistance, and that's the right answer. Okay, least resistance. They are not. So if digital economy is coming, digital banks are coming. India is becoming a digital economy. Citibank says, "Yeah, मेरे को profit नहीं हो रहा. I don't want to get into all this change. It's I don't feel that I can cope up with the changes. There are a lot of troubles within the company. They're not doing anything. They just want to exit. That's called least resistance response to any kind of change. Okay, there will be multiple reasons for that company to exit as well, but on a holistic level, it's a least resistance response where they say, bro, chuck it. मेरे को निकलना है इस country से. I don't want to do the business here, right? That's called least resistance response. Okay, ये आपको पता ही आंसर. And with that, अपना chapter number 2 is also complete, boys and girls, right? We talked about business environment, its relationships and influences on the business. We did environment scanning, trends, events, then issues and opportunities we talked about, right? Expectations क्या होती हैं लोगों की. Then internal strategies to respond हमने end में पढ़ा. Then we had SWOT analysis, internal, external, micro, macro, pestle analysis, holistic and internal strategies to respond, right? And that completes your chapter number 2 as well. Great. Let's take 2 minutes here while I open chapter number 3 for you, right? If you have any questions, if you have any doubts, ask those questions while I open chapter number 3 for us to start with. Here we go. चैप्टर नंबर 3 हम सीधा स्टडी मटेरियल से पढ़ेंगे बिकॉज आई वांट यू राइट आई वांट यू टू स्टडी दिस स्टडी मटेरियल इन दिस चैप्टर राइट there's no point making notes. I'll tell you, I don't know, give me a thumbs up or give me a yes or no. How many of you have seen a BOS BCK capsule booklet? Capsule booklet देखी किसी ने? Let me show that as well. Wait, I'll open that screen and share that as well. रुकिए, अभी दिखाते हैं आपको वो भी, ठीक है? But till then, let me know if who all of you have seen capsule booklet as well. Hmm. This is where we have the capsule booklet. देखिए किसी ने कैप्सूल बुकलेट? यस, देख ली? नहीं देखी? नहीं देखी? इफ यू हैवंट सीन द कैप्सूल बुकलेट, प्लीज गो टू द BOS website. You will see a capsule. When you see study material, उसके नीचे एक बॉक्स में लिखा हुआ है capsule. Go and download the BCK capsule. What it helps you do is you can revise chapter 1. ये देखिए, chapter 1 की पूरी summary notes जो आप लोग बना रहे हो वो already बने हुए हैं for your revision, right? The entire thing is here. This is business economics, right? This is BCK, but it's paper 4 pura. First you have business economics and then you have BCK, right? You can just go here. You have all the notes already ready for you. You can just go and refer this. See, ये business economics चल रहा है आपका पूरा, and then you can go to BCK. ये आया BCK, ठीक है? जब BCK आएगा आपका, BCK में सबसे बढ़िया ये दिया हुआ है चैप्टर 3 का पूरा ओवरव्यू, ठीक है जी? दिस इज योर चैप्टर 3 का पूरा ओवरव्यू. इनकॉर्पोरेशन, ऑल द कंपनीज दैट वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट, सारी कंपनीज जिसकी हम अभी बात करेंगे दोस्त, ठीक है जी? सारी कंपनीज जिनकी बात करने वाले हैं हम, इंडियन एंड दैट, उसका इनकॉर्पोरेशन ईयर, हेडक्वार्टर्स, चेयरमैन, प्रेजेंट मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर, CEO, CFO, रैंकिंग इन फोर्ब्स, सब कुछ आपको यहीं पे रेडीली अवेलेबल मिल जाएगा टू रिवाइज, इवन टू लर्न, राइट? इवन टू लर्न यहीं पे मिल जाएगा दोस्त, सब कुछ यहीं पे है. ऐप पे है, वेबसाइट पे है, लाइक ऐप तो आजकल एडवांस हो ही गई है, बट आई एम जस्ट लेटिंग यू नो फॉर दोज हु डू नॉट नो, जस्ट गो एंड डाउनलोड दिस. there's couple of them for other subjects as well. बट चैप्टर 3 को अगर आपने रिवाइज करना है, नोट्स बनाने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, ऑलरेडी मेहनत की हुई है ICAI बोर्ड ऑफ स्टडीज फैकल्टीज ने आपके लिए, राइट? सो यूज दैट. they're putting in so much efforts for you guys. use that, explore the app, explore the website. ठीक है, बहुत मेहनत करती है ICI. वी व्हेन आई वाज अ स्टूडेंट, इवन आई डिडंट रियलाइज कि इतना कुछ मटेरियल होता है. नाउ दैट आई एम पार्ट ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूट, आई रियलाइज कि बहुत कुछ अवेलेबल होता है, बट वी जस्ट वांट टू गो टू different sectors, different people to take this, right? Or do it ourselves, which wastes a lot of time. Anyway, now you know you can refer this capsule from the website or the app. Go and do that. Let's go back to our main thing, which is my study material, which is the Bible. Okay, this is the Bible. Okay, cool. परफेक्ट। क्या ये सब नाम हमको याद करने पड़ेंगे? आ, हाँ। सैडली। हाँ। नहीं, सारे नाम नहीं, बट कुछ कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट कंपनीज के प्लीज याद रखिएगा। लाइक विच आर फेमस कंपनीज, लाइक बिग, लाइक एयरटेल हो गया, या अदानी हो गया, या फिर रिलायंस हो गया, या टाटा हो गया, राइट? Please do try to remember this might come, right? Year of incorporation is slightly fewer times asked, so you can probably skip if you do not have time. Names, please याद रखिएगा. The story of the company, please याद रखिएगा. I'll tell you how to study this. Just be here with me, okay? Now let me before we get into this chapter, right? How and why we should even study this chapter, I'll tell you. ठीक है भाई, ये चैप्टर पढ़ूं क्यों मैं? इतना रट्टा मैं क्यों मारूं? इतना सारा रट्टा मैं क्यों मारूं, मुझे बताओ. Why do you think this chapter is important? पहले तो मुझे ये बताओ. Why do you feel this chapter is there part of the syllabus? है ही क्यों ये syllabus का part? I want to hear from you how wide and how broad you can think. मेरे को ये जानना है. जब सिलेबस बन रहा होगा, why would have teachers, why would have faculties, why would have the board of studies thought of putting this chapter in foundation? क्या लगता है आपको? To know about the companies in depth, okay? Because subject of BCK, that is why. ठीक है, know about the company, knowledge about the business organization, which is true. Generic answer दे रहे हो दोस्त. बट क्यों पढ़ूं मैं कंपनी के बारे में? मैं कंपनी की नॉलेज करके क्या हासिल होगा मुझे? मैं ऐप, चलो मेरे को पता चल गया एप्पल का सीईओ कौन है, एप्पल का सीएफओ कौन है, आई गेट इट. द स्टोरी ऑफ एप्पल, आई नो इट. व्हाई इज इट इम्पोर्टेंट? क्यों पढ़ूं मैं? ठीक है, आप मेरे को कह रहे हो टू गेट टू नो अबाउट द बिजनेस, बट व्हाई शुड आई नो अबाउट द बिजनेस भाई? Info about important companies, many companies, that is why BCK, okay? To know management of the famous companies, that is right, but why का आंसर नहीं दे रहा है कोई मुझे. You're telling me what are we going to study. I know what are we going to study. I know what this chapter is. You're giving me the content of the chapter. I'm asking you why. You're giving me what. मैं what नहीं पूछ रहा हूँ कि what is this chapter for. I'm asking why is this chapter here. So the business organization adopt the strategy to teach about philosophy of the company, how they work, they expand, and how they manage. All right, that's a good one, in the right direction. To understand structure of different businesses, to get their experience, to analyze business circumstances, because we have to be holistic. Okay, absolutely. When we will become a CA, we will have to get into these companies. As simple as that. You're right, Vidisha. That's a true answer. Okay. We get idea where should we invest. Absolutely right answer. Okay. इंस्पिरेशन के लिए करेक्ट. यही तो सुनना था दोस्त. हाउ डू यू बिल्ड अ कंपनी? आइडिया मिलता है, समझ आते करते क्या है लोग, राइट? यू कैन लर्न हाउ टू improve योर बिजनेस acumen, योर बिजनेस मेंटालिटी. एब्सोल्युटली यस. एग्जाम पास करने के लिए एकदम ऑनेस्ट आंसर दे. बिल्कुल सही. एग्जाम पास करने के लिए पढ़ना है, राइट? बट यू हैव ऑलरेडी गिवन मी द आंसर. यू बिकम अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट. जॉब करनी है, ठीक है. majority of you, आजकल ट्रेंड है, majority of you go into job. A lot of you would want to do practice. A lot of you want to become investment bankers. A lot of you want to become FP&A experts. You want to be a financial planner. You want to, after 20 years, you see yourself as a CFO, right? बड़ा आदमी बना है, बड़ा like personality बनना है. When I say Admi, it's gender neutral. Don't catch me for it, okay? You want to be a big, famous personality. A lot of females are CFOs. I know a lot of senior management. I work with a lot of senior management CAs who are ladies and they're fantastic, right? Girls are doing fantastic. हम लोग की तो वाट लगने वाली है दोस्त. Girls are doing fantastic in finance, okay? Now, why you should study these kinds of chapter when you're in the foundation of your chartered accountancy? Number one, पता तो चले काम कहाँ हो रहा है. What are the big companies in India? What are the big companies in the world where I can work as a finance professional? Number one. Number two, when you make money, you want to invest money. इन्वेस्टमेंट करने के लिए कंपनी को पढ़ना पड़ता है। ऐसा नहीं होता है एक्स वाई जी फ्रेंड से इस शेयर में पैसे लगा दे डबल हो जाएंगे ना, ओके, बिना पढ़े वी इन्वेस्ट मनी सारे जीरो हो गए। You need to read. You need to read about the company, about the people who manage the company, about what does this company do? करती क्या है ये कंपनी, कितनी बड़ी है, इसमें पैसा लगाऊं या नहीं लगाऊं, right? Should I invest in the company? How old? What is the legacy? What is the history of the company? When was it incorporated? Headquarters कहाँ पे है? Management कौन है? कौन आदमी कौन औरत इसको मैनेज करता है? क्या वो अच्छे लोग हैं? क्या वो पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं? Right? All these questions. You're going to give money to them, right? You're an investor, you're buying shares. You're going to invest your hard earned money into a company. बिना कंपनी के बारे में जाने इन्वेस्ट कर दोगे दोस्त? You're going to go and work for a company. बिना कंपनी के बारे में जाने you can go and work for that company. बहुत ही रिस्की हो, बहुत ही ओपन माइंडेड हो दोस्त, कि हमें फर्क नहीं पड़ता, हम क्या पढ़ लिख के क्या करना है इनके बारे में, सही होगा सब अच्छा होगा, भगवान भरोसे काम चल जाएगा, राइट? No, that's not how things happen, right? So this chapter is important because it tells you how to read about a company from two broad perspectives. One, you as a future finance professional, as an investor in stocks, as an investor for your own money, as a financial advisor to others, you should know how to read a company. बहुत जरूरी है, वन। नंबर टू, when you're making your career, when you're developing your career, बनाना है ना 30 LPA, 20 lakhs का पैकेज चाहिए, 30 lakhs का पैकेज चाहिए, मुझे 50 lakhs का पैकेज चाहिए, आई वांट टू बी द CFO विद 3 crores का पैकेज। ऐसे हवा से नहीं आता दोस्त। यू शुड नो कौन सी कंपनीज हैव द पोटेंशियल टू पे दैट मनी टू यू। ऐसे कि यार मेरे को ऐसी छोटी कोई कंपनी है, उसका मेरे को CFO बनना है, बट मेरे को 10 करोड़ रुपए देना। अरे उसका रिवेन्यू ही 8 करोड़ रुपए है दोस्त, आपको कैसे 10 करोड़ रुपए देगी? हाउ डू यू नो कि 10 करोड़ नहीं दे सकती वो आपको एज ए CFO? बिकॉज उसका रिवेन्यू 8 करोड़ है। आपको कैसे पता रिवेन्यू 8 करोड़ है? बिकॉज यू हैव स्टडीड द कंपनी, बॉस, एज सिंपल एज दैट। इसीलिए ये चैप्टर बहुत जरूरी है। बोरिंग होता है, बट इफ यू रीड विद अ डिफरेंट माइंड सेट, the chapter changes altogether. This chapter is like, it's a beautiful chapter if you want to read about companies. इसमें से सारी कंपनीज ना लिस्टेड है स्टॉक एक्सचेंज पे। All the companies we are going to talk about have their shares on the stock market, right? You're 18 plus. I don't know if you want to invest money in the stocks. You can open Zerodha, Grow, whatever accounts you want to open, right? Demat. I don't know if you do that or your parents do that. Talk to them. नाउ यू रीड अबाउट कंपनीज एंड यू फील कि यार ये कंपनी तो बहुत बढ़िया है, ये तो बहुत ही अच्छी कंपनी है, इट्स अ ह्यूज कंपनी डूइंग फैंटास्टिक, द पीपल मैनेजिंग इट इज फैंटास्टिक, इट्स अ ओल्ड लेगेसी कंपनी फ्रॉम 1971, फ्रॉम 1875, 200 साल पुरानी कंपनी है, चलती आ रही है, प्रॉफिट मेकिंग है, बहुत अच्छी हिस्ट्री है, इट्स अ वेरी गुड स्टोरी लाइन ऑफ द बिजनेस, दैट इज इट्स ग्रोइंग, इट्स अ पॉजिटिव कंपनी, आई कैन इन्वेस्ट मनी इन इट। चैप्टर तो आपका फायदा कराने के लिए बनाया गया, ऑल्सो हेल्प यू बिकम अ गुड प्रोफेशनल। आफ्टर 3-4 years यू माइट नॉट मीट मी, राइट? बट यू शुड रिमेंबर कि हाँ भाई एक आदमी बोल गया था कि पढ़ लेना, बिकॉज कंपनीज विल हायर यू बेसिस योर होलिस्टिक पर्सनैलिटी। वो ये नहीं पूछेंगे BCK में कितने मार्क्स आए थे, हाँ जी अनिकेत जी, हाँ जी भावनी जी, हाँ जी नव्या जी, आपके कितने मार्क्स आए थे BCK में? Nobody's gonna ask you. They're going to ask you, okay, you're coming here to interview for, let's say, a huge investment bank. Let's take example of Goldman Sachs, right? You say you're there sitting in the interview of Goldman Sachs, and the senior manager is taking an interview, and they say, all right, what do you know about Goldman Sachs? You're like, मेरे को कुछ नहीं पता, बट मैंने BCK में मेरे 90 मार्क्स आए हैं। दे लाइक, ठीक है, बट गोल्डमैन सैक्स क्या करता है? व्हाट डज दिस कंपनी डू? I don't know, but I have got 90 marks in BCK. Nobody gives zero concerns, right? It's holistic. समझो what I'm saying, right? But from an exam perspective, yes, you have to remember. पास होना जरूरी है CA बनने के लिए, बट CA बन के भी बहुत कुछ जरूरी है। Cool. बहुत सारा ज्ञान की गंगा बह गई, लोटे भर गए हैं सबके गंगा जल से। Let's get to what we are here for. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about two broad things, Indian companies and global companies, okay? These are Indian companies. ये सारी Indian companies के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. Alphabetically लगा हुआ है. If you have observed this, if you have seen this, all of these companies are listed companies on the stock exchange, right? Majority of it, not all, but majority of it. But they are alphabetically लगे हुए हैं and alphabetically पढ़ेंगे. Okay. We will also talk about certain global companies which have their operations in India, like Amazon, American Express, Apple, Goldman Sachs, HP, IBM, Intel, Microsoft, Nestle, and Walmart. Handful, right? They have operations in India. We're going to talk about these companies as well. Great. And when I was telling you, after you become a chartered accountant, you will go to a big company कि मेरे को job चाहिए. I want to be a great analyst. I want to be a great senior analyst. I want to progress in the company, become the next CFO of the company. They're like, fantastic. But what kind of jobs, what kind of profiles, right? What kind of profiles can a chartered accountant get in different probably industries or these companies, right? Let's talk about that as well. एमडीएच नहीं मिल रही देव को. देव क्या मसाला नमक डालना है दूसरे को? एमडीएच नहीं दिख रही. एमडीएच कहाँ है? एमडीएच मसाले दे दो इनको. ठीक है जी. Cool. So four kind of broad job roles that chartered accountants can get in these companies and all other companies. These are just a few companies to help us understand how to read about companies. All right. Number one is a budget analyst. Number two is financial analyst. Number three is management analyst. Number four is market research analyst. Cool. So budget analyst क्या करता है? Budget analyst help companies and organizations to keep their finances on track, right? They are vital to achieve financial goals, maintain profitability, attain long-term growth, right? Budget analyst नाम में ही है, budgeting करते हैं. How the expenses will be managed, how the revenues will be managed, how much money do we have and how do we want to spend that? Where should we spend our money? Where will we get the best return on investment of our money? That is what budget analysts do. Financial analysts, right? They figure out investment options in the market. Budget वाला expenses की बात करता है. फाइनेंशियल एनालिस्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट्स की बात करता है. सिक्योरिटी एनालिस्ट, इक्विटी एनालिस्ट, इन्वेस्टमेंट एनालिस्ट, रेटिंग एनालिस्ट. वेयर शुड द सरप्लस मनी ऑफ द कंपनी बी इन्वेस्टेड टू मेक मोर मनी, राइट? लेट्स से बिग कंपनी, लेट्स से कोल इंडिया के पास 10,000 करोड़ रुपीज सरप्लस पड़े हैं. दे हैव एक्सेस कैश इन देयर बैंक. 10,000 करोड़ रुपए बैंक में पड़े हैं. So financial analyst will say, boss, why do you want to keep this much money in the bank? You just need like 2,000, 3,000 crores for your daily operations, right? बाकी 7-8,000 crores आप उठा के invest कर दो अफ्रीका में. अफ्रीका में गैस पाइपलाइन बन रही है. Go and invest that money there. You will get better returns. That's a financial analyst का job, right? Management analyst. They make strategies, holistic approach, least resistance, internal administrative, competitive response, right? Collective response. All these strategies are made by management analysts. They are known as management consultants. They work with heads of the business to improve efficiency, consequently profitability. They work on case basis where they present a problem set and they work to find solutions to it, right? It is one of the most preferred job roles for professional graduates around the world. You get to sit with the CEOs of the company to help them make strategies for their business. That is what management analysts do. ठीक है जी. Third or fourth and the last one is market research analyst. As the name suggests, they do market research. What is the competitor doing? What are our strengths? What are our weaknesses? पहले SWOT analysis करता है. Market research analyst SWOT analysis and PESTEL analysis करता है. In the basic form of things, a market research analyst does SWOT analysis and PESTEL analysis for companies, right? These are a couple of roles that you can take up when you become a professional, right? Either a budget analyst, financial analyst, market analyst, or management analyst and market research analyst. ठीक है जी? Great. Couple of terms, the concepts that we have used in the chapter. Okay. Now, for example, we have talked about Nifty 50. What is Nifty 50? कौन बताएगा मुझे Nifty 50 क्या होता है? Anybody who knows what is Nifty 50? Nifty 50 क्या होता है दोस्त? बताइए. Let's see how smart the lot is. I know you guys are very smart, but let's see if you know Nifty 50. Rohit says Sensex. Sensex होता है Nifty 50. ठीक है, अलग होता है दोस्त, बट ठीक है. मतलब कॉन्सेप्ट आप सही पकड़ रहे हो बट आंसर गलत दे रहे हो. ओके. Stock market index, set of top 50 companies, NSC stock market index, group of top 50 companies, national 50, one of the Indian stock markets, benchmark like Sensex, index of NSE BSE indicates performance of 50 big companies. ठीक है जी, one of the indicators of prominent stock exchange, sensitive index controls the share pricing, top 30 companies which are listed in the stock exchange. Nifty 50 में top 30 companies कब से हो गई दोस्त? टॉप 50 कंपनीज. ठीक है, वेरी गुड, स्मार्ट लॉट, फैंटास्टिक. टॉप 50 कैसे पकड़ते हैं हम? हाउ डू यू नो दे आर टॉप 50? हाउ डू यू आइडेंटिफाई द टॉप 50? कैसे पता चलता है दोस्त? जरा बताएंगे मुझे. टॉप 50 ठीक है. टॉप 50 इंडियन कंपनीज का परफॉर्मेंस इंडेक्स होता है. निफ्टी 50 इज द परफॉर्मेंस इंडेक्स ऑफ द टॉप 50 कंपनीज ऑफ इंडिया विच आर लिस्टेड ऑन द नेशनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज. अग्रीड, फैंटास्टिक. बट टॉप 50 है, हाउ डू यू मेजर कि ये टॉप 50 में आना चाहिए? बाय देयर परफॉर्मेंस. अच्छा जी. बाय देयर टर्नओवर. ओके जी. बाय देयर मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन. ओके. एवरेज रेवेन्यू एंड ग्रोथ. परफॉर्मेंस. contribute more to the GDP if their shares are equal to the average of shares of the companies. Oh ho, mathematician Aryabhatta ji aaye hain. Okay. Khushi is in Aryabhatta. He's saying if shares are equal to average of all shares. इतनी मैथ्स आपको लगता है स्टॉक एक्सचेंज लगाता होगा? By market capitalization, share value increasing, revenue, right? Asad will come to that. Turnover, leaders of the respective sector. Okay. It is done by market capitalization. It is measured by market capitalization, not performance, not turnover, not profit, but by their market capitalization. What is market capitalization? Market capitalization is the market price of the share into number of shares available or floating in the market. उस कंपनी के जितने भी शेयर्स हैं मल्टीप्लाइड बाय द मार्केट प्राइस ऑफ द शेयर, that is called market capitalization. Top 50 companies with the highest market capitalization in that particular order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till 50. Top 50 Indian listed companies with highest market capitalization form part of Nifty 50. Okay, form part of Nifty 50. Nifty means National Stock Exchange की 50. N National 50 50 Nifty. ठीक है, Nifty 50. It's an index of performance of the top 50 companies. Performance of what? Performance of their share price. Those, please remember, share market has nothing to do with profits of the company, has nothing to do with revenue of the company. Share market is a sentiment market and it functions on the share price. टमाटर सैंडविच में खाओ या टमाटर की सॉस बनाओ, you make a tomato sandwich You make a tomato ketchup, right? Tomato prices are increasing. It's a sentimental market. Doesn't matter if tomato is used in sandwich, if tomato is used for ketchup, if tomato is used in sambar, in rasam, in whatever you want, in any soup that you make, nobody cares. What are people caring about? Price of tomato. ठीक है जी. Same happens with this share market. शेयर प्राइस के ऊपर बात होती है जी. द परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ टॉप 50 कंपनीज ऑफ इंडिया का शेयर प्राइस, परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ देयर शेयर प्राइस, नॉट हाउ गुड कंपनीज दे आर, नॉट हाउ प्रॉफिटेबल कंपनीज दे आर, उनका शेयर प्राइस क्या है, उसके बेसिस पे टॉप 50 ले ली जाती है, राइट? दैट इज वाई शेयर मार्केट इज एब्सोल्युटली रिस्की बिकॉज इट्स अ सेंटिमेंट बेस्ड मार्केट. आई लव रतन टाटा, तो मैं उनकी कंपनी में पैसा लगा दूंगा. आई विल नॉट थिंक ट्वाइस कि वो हो सकता है टाटा लॉसेस में हो, बट आई लाइक रतन टाटा, लो पैसे लगा दिए. आई लाइक मुकेश अंबानी, पैसे लगा दिए. नो वंडर रिलायंस इज इनटू लॉसेस, अज्यूमिंग, बट सेंटिमेंट है. आई लाइक दिस पर्सन, आई लाइक दिस कंपनी, पैसे लगा दो. फ्यूचर, फ्यूचर देखो कितना बढ़िया होने वाला है कंपनी का. नोबडी नोज द फ्यूचर. यू माइट बी एन आईएएस ऑफिसर टुमारो, क्या मैं आपके ऊपर बेट लगा दूं? सेंटिमेंट है ना. आई माइट फील यू आर एन एक्सेलेंट स्टूडेंट एंड आई माइट पुट माई मनी ऑन यू कि दिस पर्सन विल बिकम एन आईएएस ऑफिसर टुमारो. मे और मे नॉट, आई डोंट नो. सेंटिमेंट है. आई फील दैट यू विल बी सक्सेसफुल बट आई डोंट नो. नोबडी नोज द फ्यूचर. दैट्स व्हाट स्टॉक मार्केट इज. ठीक है जी. Aren't share prices affected by revenues of the company earn? It does. That is what I'm saying. It's a sentiment based market. There could be cases when the revenue is falling, but people might think future may we will have good revenues. Abhi it is falling, no problem, right? Because if you think about this, okay, when the company is doing bad, but you think the company is good, okay, think about this. Think about this. You might have siblings, you might have cousins, you might have friends. Your friends might not be doing good in an examination, but you know they are intelligent, but you know they are smart. They will do something good in life. ठीक है? Possibility है ना? You know your friends, your cousins, your brothers and sisters might not be doing good in a particular exam in their class, but you know they're very smart and intelligent and they will do something good with their life. That's what stock market is, dost. That is what stock market is in the basic sense. If you're into losses today, but I feel future में आप बहुत अच्छा करोगे, I will still put my money. रोहित इज वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट, कह रहे हैं मुझ पे पैसे मत लगाना, मेरा कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. वेरी गुड रोहित, थैंक यू फॉर सेविंग माई मनी. ग्रेट. दैट इज निफ्टी 50 फॉर यू बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स, राइट? ओके, आगे चलते हैं. यू कैन रीड दिस एंड एवरीथिंग. It's basic study material, you can go through it. I'll just see what is important now. Here, this is important for me to explain to you. A company में the designations of the top management, okay, the designation of the top management matters a lot. Chairman, CEO, MD, director, CFO, फर्क क्या है? What is the difference? Chairman, the person who owns a major portion of the company and is at the topmost level of the management. This word has been changed globally now, right? India में अभी slow है, but India में भी आ रहा है. This has been changed to chairperson and not chairman. Okay. Now we call who is the chairperson of the company and not a chairman. So chairperson is a person who owns a major portion of the company and is at the topmost level of the management. He or she is the chairperson. CEO is an employee. The leader of all departments takes future oriented decisions and leads the overall management of the company. The topmost employee of the company is CEO. MD, Managing Director, or CMD, Chief Managing Director. The person who is the part of board of directors and is concerned with ensuring that the decisions of the board of directors are being implemented. CEO reports to the board of directors. And the head of the board of directors is managing director. Okay, great. Wow, the electricity went off. It should come back. Anyway, while it comes back, let's continue. आगे ठीक है. Person who is part of board of directors and is concerned with ensuring, right, that the decisions of the board of directors are being implemented. That is MD, managing director, chief managing director, कुछ भी हो सकते हैं. Okay. Then we have director, right? We have director, head of operations, director of each department. There is a director for each department. Okay. Head of operations could be a specific department as well, like director of design, director of sales, director of purchase, director of HR, director of learning and development, director of supply chain, could be anything, right? CFO, the chief financial officer who reports directly to the CEO. He or she is the finance head for the CEO. They look after everything related to finance in the organization. Most of the organizations have chartered accountants as their CFOs, my friend. ठीक है? Chartered accountants as the CFOs. Great. What is portfolio? आशीष किधर से आया portfolio? ठीक है. But portfolio is group of things. What is difference between managing analyst and managing director? Sakaram, very good question. What is the difference between managing analyst or management analyst and managing director? ठीक है जी. Let me explain that to you. What is the difference between a student and the HOD of the department? वही फर्क है. उतना ही फर्क है. ठीक है. You are the student and there will be someone who is the head of the department of the subject you are studying. बस उतना ही फर्क है मैनेजमेंट एनालिस्ट में और मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर में. ठीक है. Cool. Any questions so far or we go to the next one? It's already changed, Amit. I told you it's chairperson now. Any questions or we move to the next one? Give me a thumbs up, give me something. I know that you, it's okay. ऐसे head nod करोगे मेरे को दिखेगा नहीं वीडियो में. Cool. Thanks Indrajit for a thumbs up. I'll just wait for 10 seconds to see you guys are not sleeping now. मालूम है मुझे संडे है, but bear with me for the next 40 minutes and we are done for the day. Thanks for everyone giving a thumbs up. Indrajit Bhai, Suhana, Asha, Tina, Palak, Nandini, Pratima. Thanks. चलिए, let's go थोड़ा सा आगे now. Great. I have more coming in. Thanks everyone who's giving a thumbs up. Good to see you guys are active. Okay, what about company secretary? Company secretaries are many. CS, the chief company secretary, they are also the employee reporting to the CEO. Okay. Is MD part of directors? Yes. Those बहुत ही डिफरेंस है. ये मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर और मैनेजमेंट एनालिस्ट आप कैसे कंफ्यूज हो सकते हैं मुझे ये बताओ. मैनेजमेंट एनालिस्ट इज द बॉटम मोस्ट एम्प्लॉय. मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर भाई मालिक है बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स का. ये कैसे कंफ्यूज हो सकते हो इसमें. मैनेजमेंट एनालिस्ट इज यू एंड मी. व्हेन वी स्टार्ट अ जॉब we will be management analyst. And managing director is what 50-55-year-old people who have experience of 40 years. They're leading the entire company. How can you get confused between the two? इतना clear definition था दोस्त. Great, let's go to startups. Okay. स्टार्टअप के बारे में हम सबको पता है. ओयो, रूम्स, क्रेड, उड़ान, जीरोदा, ग्रो, बाइजूस, वेदांतु, couple of names like Flipkart and everything. All these are startups, right? But you have heard about the term unicorn? What is a unicorn? Tell me what is a unicorn. Who is higher position? Both are same, CS and CFO. Well, the chief secretary of the company and the chief financial officer are almost the same in terms of position. Okay. There you have to study for each of the companies. There are no share recommendations. आजकल तो निर्मला सीतारमन जी ने भी बोल दिया है that nobody can give tips for shares online. जेल हो जाएगी दोस्त. I don't want to go to jail. No tips online. खुद पढ़ो कंपनी के बारे में, खुद इन्वेस्ट करो. Okay, a company whose valuation has reached $1 billion. Absolutely. Slowly growing company जो loss में कम ही जाती है, नहीं, not necessarily. A company having valuation of $1 billion, right? Unicorn, okay. Mix of colors, very good. Divine horse, oh हो, बढ़िया लोग हैं. ये पक्का संडे ये छोले भटूरे खा के नींद आ रही है सबको. डिवाइन हॉर्स, कलर्स दिख रहे हैं, घोड़े दिख रहे हैं. ये बीसीके तो गया भाड़ में. What are we doing is divine horse, colors, unicorn. Oof, great. A company whose valuation is over $1 billion, that's a unicorn. Great job, everyone who gave that answer. You are going to be the winners of the examination. अच्छा है, कंपटीशन कम होगा. मैं तो कहता हूँ ये जो घोड़े कलर देख रहे हैं, देखने दो इनको. आप लोग अपना $1 billion वैल्यूएशन पे नजर रखो. अच्छा है, कंपटीशन कम हो जाएगा. राइट. आई यूज्ड टू स्टडी लाइक दिस. I was very happy when people were giving absurd answers because I felt चलो मेरा एग्जाम क्लियर हो जाएगा, कंपटीशन आधा हो गया. ठीक है जी. Let's go to advent of startups. Now, a lot of startups have boomed in India. A lot of startups have become full-fledged companies like a Flipkart or a Cred, right? Or Ola for that matter, right? Big companies, $36 billion valuation, $50 billion valuation. They are huge companies. And we have added a few in our chapter as well. ठीक है जी. Now, how are we going to study about each of these companies is very simple. I will not go into incorporation year, ownership group, headquarters. You know it. I've given you the source of revision also, the capsule. Go and read that. Try to remember the names as many as possible. नहीं होता तो stress लेके anxiety लेने का कोई जरूरत नहीं है. Please do not create stress in your head. If you're not able to remember the names, don't worry. Don't worry. You're not gonna fail just because you don't know the names. Try doing that. I would recommend doing that, right? But do not stress yourself कि नहीं हो रहा अब तो खत्म, अब तो BCK हो ही नहीं पाएगा. No, right? Learn as much as you can. If you cannot, that's also fine. Okay. What are we going to do in each of the companies very quickly is I'm going to talk about certain things that you should remember, right? I would suggest if you have your study materials, please, I will give you 2 minutes. Please open your study materials. I will tell you what is important. Questions kahan se aate hain. I want to do this chapter in a way that I tell you where the questions come frequently from. आप पढ़ोगे खुद. I'm not going to read the entire study material for you. You're old enough now for it, right? We are not in 6th, 7th class. Classroom में खड़े होके read करेंगे. No. Open your study materials if you want to. You want to take down notes, take down notes, right? My recommendation is study material खोल लो. I will tell you what to mark, what is important. Do that. Once you have opened it, let me know. And then I will rush through in the next 40 minutes all the companies. ठीक है, सारी कंपनीज को रन थ्रू करेंगे तेजी से और मार्क करते जाएंगे क्या चीज इंपॉर्टेंट है, किस चीज पे फोकस करना है. ठीक है जी. डज दैट मेक सेंस? Valuation and turnover, what is the difference? Big difference. Turnover is sales, valuation is the value of the company, which means आपकी एज 20 है बट आप बातें करते हो 40 साल जैसे की, राइट? you're wise enough, you're mature enough like a 40-year-old, which means your value, people value what you say. तो वैसी कंपनी का होता है. कि आपका रेवेन्यू है 10 करोड़, बट आई फील योर पोटेंशियल इज 50 करोड़ की कंपनी बनना, दैट इज योर वैल्यूएशन। ठीक है जी, पोटेंशियल और रियलिटी का जो फर्क है, दैट इज टर्नओवर एंड वैल्यूएशन। रियलिटी इज टर्नओवर एंड योर पोटेंशियल इज योर वैल्यूएशन। ठीक है जी। Great. All of those study material is open. Super. Got thumbs up. Study material open. Open since starting. Fantastic. Great. Let us go through like a marathon. एक मैराथन की तरह अब फटाफट से चलते जाएंगे for all of these companies very quickly, while I'll also explain a few concepts which I feel are important for you to understand. नेम्स ऑफ द कंपनी, हेडक्वार्टर वगैरह सबके प्लीज पढ़ने हैं. यू नो द कैप्सूल, डू नॉट स्किप दैट. एंड लेट्स गेट इनटू द फर्स्ट कंपनी व्हिच इज अदानी पोर्ट्स एंड स्पेशल इकोनॉमिक जोन लिमिटेड. ठीक है जी. ग्रेट. ओके, रिमेंबर दीज नेम्स: मुंद्रा, दहेज, हजीरा, धामरा, कठपुतली. नाम याद रखोगे, बट यू नो बिकॉज इट्स अ पोर्ट कंपनी. अदानी इज अ पोर्ट कंपनी, टर्मिनल्स में होता है, राइट? इट्स वेयर द शिपमेंट्स कम फ्रॉम द ग्लोब एंड दैट इज वेयर दीज पोर्ट्स आर मेड. अदानी वर्क्स ऑन दीज पोर्ट्स, लॉजिस्टिक्स कंपनी है, राइट? कहीं भी किसी भी पोर्ट का नाम आएगा, प्लीज रिमेंबर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट अदानी. मार्केट एज इंपॉर्टेंट, यू नीड टू रिमेंबर फ्यू नेम्स. याद करने की जरूरत नहीं, आपको समझ आ जाएगा. मुंद्रा में, दहेज में, हजीरा में पोर्ट्स हैं. जहां पे पोर्ट है वहां पे एपीएसईजी, अदानी पोर्ट्स एंड स्पेशल इकोनॉमिक जोन लिमिटेड कंपनी आ जाएगी, राइट? मुंद्रा इज द होम ऑफ इंडियाज ओनली पोर्टलेट मल्टी प्रोडक्ट एसईजी. व्हाट इज एन एसईजी? स्पेशल इकोनॉमिक जोन होता है. अ स्पेशल जोन वेयर इफ यू ओपन अ कंपनी, government gives you benefits, is called special economic zone. It is a piece of land, a piece of area where if you open your business, government gives you benefits because that is a backward area. And if you open a business in that special economic zone, you develop that area. वहाँ पे roads बनती है, वहाँ पे employment बनती है. So government wants to develop a particular area. They name it as special economic zone. They bring companies, they give them subsidies, they give them benefits, and that is how they develop an SEZ. Adani Ports functions in an SEZ, which is Special Economic Zone. ठीक है जी. सीमलेस मल्टी लॉजिस्टिक, इसमें ज्यादा और कुछ करने का है नहीं. रैंक्स, प्लीज रिमेंबर द रैंक्स, राइट? नॉट नेसेसरी आपको नंबर याद रखना है, बट आप ये याद रखना कि आसपास फोर्ब्स की कौन सी लिस्ट में टॉप कंपनीज का ज्यादा आता है नंबर. अदानी इज 1500, इट्स 1500. जनरली इट विल नॉट बी आस्क्ड. द कंपनीज विच आर ऑन द हाई एंड लाइक टॉप 50, टॉप 10, उनके नंबर्स ज्यादा पूछे जाते हैं. सो रिमेंबर दैट एज वेल. ठीक है. लेट्स गो टू नेक्स्ट विच इज एशियन पेंट्स कंपनी. एशियन पेंट्स की जो हिस्ट्री है ना, प्लीज वो याद रखना, राइट? इट यू नीड टू रिमेंबर एशियन पेंट्स की हिस्ट्री विच इज, आई टेल यू वेयर इट वाज. गॉट इट? परफेक्ट. इसका अब आपकी यहाँ पे है. ग्रेट. ओके. इट ऑपरेट्स इन 16 कंट्रीज. रिमेंबर द नेम्स फॉर श्योर, राइट? 26 पेंट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग फैसिलिटीज. नंबर्स याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है, राइट? बट यू नीड टू रिमेंबर सर्टेन थिंग्स लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल these are the competition. The question might come, the competitors, लिख लीजिए बुक में यहाँ पे competitors. The question can come with the names of the competitors and they might ask which companies competitors are these, right? Which companies competitors are these? Kansai Narolac Paints is a competitor of which of these following? Asian Paints is the answer, okay? Or for example, Jensen Nicholson India Limited is a competitor for which of the companies? The answer will be Asian Paints, राइट? फिलॉसफी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. फिलॉसफी का मतलब है विजन, मिशन क्या होता है कंपनी का. फिलॉसफी का मतलब व्हाट इज द विजन एंड मिशन ऑफ द कंपनी. फ्रीक्वेंटली आस्क्ड. फिलॉसफी जो भी हेडिंग है फॉर ऑल द कंपनीज, इट इज मोस्ट फ्रीक्वेंटली आस्क्ड पीस. इसको प्लीज याद रखना. दिस इज विजन एंड मिशन ऑफ द कंपनीज वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट. नाउ, which of the following companies wants to become one of the top 5 decorative coatings company worldwide by leveraging its expertise in higher growth emerging markets? The answer is Asian Paints. Question can come as direct as this, right? Which company wants to become one of the top 5 decorative coating companies? The answer has to be Asian Paints. This is very frequently asked form of question from philosophy. हर कंपनी की philosophy प्लीज याद रखिएगा, मार्केट एज इंपॉर्टेंट, स्टार लगा लो, अंडरलाइन कर लो, कलर कर लो, जो करना है कर लो, राइट? Portfolio of the company. Portfolio of the company. Somebody was asking what is a portfolio. Portfolio means what all products do you sell? What is the portfolio? What are the different products that you sell as a company? That is your portfolio, right? They sell interior wall paints, exterior wall paints, enamels बेचते हैं, wood finishes बेचते हैं, right? That is the portfolio of the company. They do internal wall paints, external wall paints, enamels बेचते हैं, wood finishes बेचते हैं. Now this can come as a question. The four segments. Which of the following is not a segment of Asian Paints Private Limited or Asian Paints Limited? Right? Which of the following is not a segment or not part of the portfolio of Asian Paints? You need to remember एक odd one out आएगा. You have to take that. So you need to remember certain things as well, right? Let's go to the next one, which is Axis Bank. Axis Bank, bhaiya, Axis Bank, we all know what Axis Bank does, right? Axis Bank is one of the first new generation private sector banks to begin its operation in 1994, right? Which of the following banks was jointly set up and promoted by special undertaking of UTI, then known as Unit Trust of India, LIC and GIC, right? All these companies together jointly started which bank in 1993? The answer is Axis Bank Limited. Which of these banks, ये नाम आ जाएंगे तीन चार के, which of these SUTI, GIC, LIC, all of these companies jointly promoted a bank in 1994? What was the name of the bank? Axis Bank. ठीक है जी. Now, philosophy again, right? Philosophy again, super important. Question direct आता है, बहुत ज्यादा आता है. The vision, वो आपसे vision पूछ लेंगे and they will ask you, this is the vision of which bank? This is the vision of which company? Okay? And आपको answer आना चाहिए. Vision and core values. They will come core values. Customer centricity, ethics, transparency, teamwork, and ownership are the five core values of which company? You should know the answer. Right? आपको आंसर पता होना चाहिए कि भाई core values ये एक्सिस बैंक की हैं. Okay? Portfolio of the company, products and services it offers. Absolutely important. Three kinds of segments. Portfolio में एक्सिस बैंक के तीन segments हैं. Retail, corporate and international banking. Right? Retail banking करते हैं, corporate banking करते हैं, international banking करते हैं. More than enough. More than enough to remember. Right? What are the three segments? Now, it has subsidiaries as well. But very simple. सबके नाम में Axis लिखा आ रहा है. तो be smart. The examiner is not going to ask you such easy questions. They're not going to ask Axis Bank UK Limited, Axis Mutual Fund Trustee Limited, Axis Trustee Services Limited are subsidiaries of which company? भाई हमको मालूम है Axis नाम लिखा तो हुआ है. तो इतना easy question नहीं आएगा. So be smart in reading this chapter. ये पूछ ही नहीं सकते. इतना simple है. You can skip this. But ये पूछ सकते हैं. What are the three segments where this Axis Bank functions? What are the three portfolio segments of Axis Bank? Retail, corporate, international. Okay. This is how you have to read the chapter. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? I'm happy to take up, or we can just continue. No questions. Super. Let's continue where we are. Bajaj Auto Limited. ठीक है जी, Bajaj Auto Limited. Now, this is where you have to understand again philosophy, vision, mission. भैया याद रख लेना, star mark कर लीजिए. Company introduction again, very most frequently asked question in examination. Jamnalal Bajaj in Rajasthan started 1940s में. Which of the companies was started in Rajasthan in 1940s and obtained a license from the government to India manufacture two-wheelers and three-wheelers? Right? Answer is Bajaj Limited. Right? The answer is Bajaj Auto Limited. Now, it is an Indian two-wheeler, three-wheeler car manufacturing company, one of the world's top manufacturer of motorcycles in India. It is the world's largest three-wheeler manufacturer. Which of the following company is the world's largest three-wheeler? ऑटो रिक्शा बनाने की सबसे बड़ी कंपनी है बजाज ऑटो लिमिटेड पूरी दुनिया की. It is the world's largest three-wheeler manufacturer company, Bajaj Auto Limited. Great. Vision and mission याद रखने का दोस्त. Make a star mark, make a tick, highlight it, whatever you want to do that. Questions come from here. Again, questions also come from the products of Bajaj. They might ask RE Optima, RE Maxima, or a Compact, right? These are auto ke models, or an Avenger, Dominar, Discover. Like a lot of you would know these bike names, right? These are brands of which company? Pulsar, Discover, Dominar are brands of which company? The answer is Bajaj Auto Limited. Star mark, color, whatever you want to do. Question comes. Next one, Bharti Airtel Limited. Okay. Bharti Airtel leading global telecommunications company, right? ज्यादा कुछ इसमें ये पढ़ने का. Okay. It is the largest mobile network operator in India and the third largest in the world, right? Which of the following telecommunication companies is the third largest in the world? Okay. The answer is Airtel, third largest in the world है ये. ठीक है जी. Philosophy again, vision, mission, hunger to win customers for life. किसका mission है ये? Airtel का, right? Whose mission is hunger to win customers for life? Airtel. Bharti Airtel. Okay. Segments again, DTH, broadband, telecommunications, SIM cards, USB, Airtel data card, GPRS. Now, these are the five segments where Airtel works. These are the five segments. Telemedia में काम करता है, digital television, Airtel TV आता है. Enterprise for companies, they do this networking and LANs and everything. Mobile data services, SIM cards and e-cards that we are using. Enterprise business solutions like big BPOs, big companies, international companies having internet in the office, 10,000 employees working on Wi-Fi in a huge kaanch ki building, right? Airtel provides those kinds of solutions as well. Okay. 725th on Forbes world's largest public companies, right? Cool. Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, a government of India company. Okay, it's a government of India. It's owned by government of India. Sarkari company hai mere dost. It is owned by government of India. It's a public sector company. Any company which is owned by the government of India, I explained it to you. It's a public sector company, right? Huge companies that are owned by the government are tagged as Navratnas, Maharatnas, and Mini Ratnas based on their revenue and size of operations. As of October 2021, there are 10 Maharatnas and 14 Navratan companies in India. Okay. Bharat Petroleum is one of those. Okay. Bharat Petroleum. We are about to discuss Bharat Petroleum, which is a Maharatna company, right? All the government companies that we shall discuss in this chapter are either Maharatna or Navratna. Okay, they are Navratan or Maharatan companies of the government. Only companies owned by the government, public sector undertaking companies are tagged as Maharatnas or Navratnas, and 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 it is based on their revenue and size of operation. Government keeps on revising this list. As of 2021, 10 Maharatna hai, 14 Navratan hai, and all the government owned companies, jahan pe bhi you look at ownership is government of India, wherever the ownership is government of India, it will be either Maharatna or Navratna company. ठीक है जी? Very good. The company began its work on the marshland of Trombay at Bombay, the refinery, Okay, you want to read the history? Read the history, right? It is an Indian state-controlled oil and gas company. This is where it gets important. 40% of international volumes in India are fueled by BPCL plane services. Their presence in the defense sector is equally strong. Bharat Petroleum is the only oil company in India to have equity stake in first greenfield airport at Cochin Airport International Airport Limited. This can come as a question. ठीक है जी. स्टोरी से ज्यादा क्वेश्चन नहीं आएगा. क्वेश्चन आएगा जहां पे स्पेसिफिक कोई फैक्ट है, wherever there is a specific fact about a company, that is where the questions will come from. Okay, please remember when you're reading this chapter, if you feel this is a very peculiar, important, outlier, very cool fact about this company, that is where the question is. Okay, that is where the question is. Again, philosophy, प्लीज रिमेंबर पोर्टफोलियो में समझते हैं कि इसकी रिफाइनरीज कहाँ कहाँ है. मुंबई में है, कोची में है, बीना रिफाइनरी, नुमालीगढ़ रिफाइनरी, राइट. यू हैव टू रिमेंबर द नेम्स. लेट मी टेल यू, गवर्नमेंट कंपनीज में से बहुत क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. ICI loves asking questions. We love asking questions from government companies, right? We are very Indian at the core of things. So we love asking a lot of questions from government owned companies. So please be very careful. Please be double conscious. Please be double concentrated when you're reading government owned companies. That is something probably I can advise you, right? That can help you in your exam preparation. Okay. So far, so good. Let's go to Cipla Limited. Cipla का भैया full form था. Cipla was founded as the Chemical, Industrial and Pharmaceutical Laboratories, CIPLA. ये हुआ था, but they changed their name to Cipla Limited in 1984. They short form बना के उसी को नाम बना दिया. Right? It was started by Khwaja Abdul Hamid in 1935. Okay. The chemical industry and pharmaceutical laboratories started by Khwaja Abdul Hamid in 1935 identify the company. The answer is Cipla. Okay. Okay, cool. Now, one of the important facts about Cipla that I wanted to highlight was uh, duh, 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 duh. Okay, here. The company has about 1,500 pharmaceutical products in more than 60 therapeutical categories, right? Again, peculiar facts, numeric facts can come as questions, okay? ये आपको नाम नहीं पूछेंगे, arthritis, cancer, depression, drugs for cold, oral hygiene, skin care, नहीं. They're not going to go technical about a company, but yes, which is a cool fact, which is an outlier fact about a company, can come as a question. राइट. एंड फिलोसफी एंड पोर्टफोलियो तो पढ़ना ही है सबका. क्वेश्चंस यहीं से बनेंगे, एक फिलोसफी से बनेंगे फॉर श्योर. एटलीस्ट 2-3 क्वेश्चंस कम फ्रॉम फिलोसफी. व्हाट इज द मिशन? दे गिव यू अ मिशन स्टेटमेंट, दे गिव यू अ विजन स्टेटमेंट एंड दे से आइडेंटिफाई द कंपनी. ठीक है, तो अ लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस कम फ्रॉम फिलोसफी फॉर श्योर. हिस्टोरिकली सीन बहुत ज्यादा आते हैं. पोर्टफोलियो ऑफ द कंपनी से भी बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, राइट. सिप्ला की पोर्टफोलियो वैसे बहुत जेनेरिक है, बहुत एंटी, लाइक यू हैव नेम्स लाइक फ्लूटिकेसॉन और एसिपेटोलॉम और लुमिवाडाइन, राइट. दीज आर मेडिसिन नेम्स. सो इतना नहीं आएगा. सो ऐसा मत पूछना अरे ये दवाई के नाम ज्यादा रखने पड़ेंगे. कॉमन सेंस नहीं पूछेंगे वो. ओके, जहां पे आपको लगे बहुत टेक्निकल है वो नहीं आएगा सवाल. खुद को ही लग रहा है नहीं पूछ सकते. ओके, द नेक्स्ट वन इज कोल इंडिया लिमिटेड. इसका ओनर देखो कौन है. इसका ओनर इज गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. इट्स अ सरकारी कंपनी, इट्स अ पब्लिक सेक्टर अंडरटेकिंग, इट्स अ गवर्नमेंट ओन्ड कंपनी. द हेड CMD एंड चेयरमैन इज IAS ऑफिसर मिस्टर प्रमोद अग्रवाल. IAS ऑफिसर, CEO, MD, CMD, चेयरमैन है भैया कोल इंडिया लिमिटेड के. ठीक है जी. Now, interesting facts. CIL manages 200 other establishments like workshops, hospitals, etc. It owns 26 technical management training institutes and 102 vocational training institutes. But the most important fact to remember, इसको underline कर लीजिए please. Question आ सकता है. It commands nearly 74% of the Indian coal market. What a monopoly. Coal India Limited nearly 74% of the Indian coal market शेयर कोल इंडिया के पास है. इतनी बड़ी कंपनी है दोस्त. पूरे देश का कोल का 74% इज व्हाट दे कमांड. ओके, विजन, मिशन, प्लीज रिमेंबर. ओके, इतना सिंपल पोर्टफोलियो में सब्सिडरीज का नाम ईस्टर्न कोल्ड फील्ड, कोल 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 कोल, हर जगह कोल लिखा रहा है नाम में भैया. पढ़ने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, नाम में ही समझ आ जाएगा इट्स कोल इंडिया लिमिटेड की सब्सिडरी, राइट. बट इंटरेस्टिंग इज जॉइंट वेंचर्स. जॉइंट वेंचर्स में नाम क्या लिखा है? इंटरनेशनल कोल वेंचर्स लिमिटेड। अगेन कोल लिखा है, समझ आ जाएगा कोल इंडिया, बट इफ आई से ऊर्जा प्राइवेट लिमिटेड, then you got to understand थोड़ा सा, right? कि यार this is a joint venture between CIL Coal India Limited and NTPC National Thermal Power Corporation के बीच का ये joint venture है। ठीक है जी, वेरी गुड। We know what a subsidiary is, we know what a wholly owned subsidiary is। ये लोग हम लोग अकाउंट्स में 11 12 में पढ़ चुके हैं। ठीक है। The next one is Dr. Reddy's Laboratories Limited। Dr. Reddy's Laboratories Limited, right? Okay, I see a few questions. Will be supposed to update us for the exam point, or should we prepare as per the ICI module? As per the ICI module only. The exam will come from the latest study material that is on the website only. You don't have to remember if there's a change in the name or anything latest about the company. You do not have to prepare that. Study material latest on the website is the source of truth for the examinations. ठीक है जी? Largest mobile network, it is the most customer, yes. 10 Maharatna is a private company? No, sir. It is a government-owned company. It's a public sector company. Private company नहीं है दोस्त, सरकारी company है, right? How Maharatna word came, जाके गूगल करना पड़ेगा गोपाल कि महारत्ना ही क्यों किया नाम, okay? What else? Ask good questions दोस्त। कंपनी के स्लोगन याद करने हैं? जनरली नो, जनरली स्पीकिंग नो। टाइम होगा पढ़ लेना। अंकित अभी पढ़ा हमने नवरत्ना महारत्ना, ध्यान से सुनो। आई स्पेंट गुड 5 minutes एक्सप्लेनिंग दैट। रैंक इज इंपॉर्टेंट, नॉट नेसेसरी। इफ यू डोंट हैव टाइम स्किप इट, इफ यू हैव टाइम रीड इट, दैट्स माय एडवाइस। ओके, इफ यू हैव टाइम डू रीड इट, इफ यू डोंट हैव टाइम सर मत खुजाना कि रैंक याद नहीं हो रही। टाइम वेस्ट करोगे बहुत ज्यादा, कुछ और इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक पढ़ लेना उससे अच्छा। Absolutely. Study material में updated names and COAs क्या है? And the updated name I can give you from my experience. If there's a change in the name and CEO, ICI tries not to give that as a question to create confusion. ठीक है जी? My guess or my probably inference, because examination department is absolutely different and independent, and we have no contact with them because they have to be independent, right? तभी fair होगा. So my analysis of the question papers is, if there's a change in the name of the CEO or MD of the company, the exam department tries not to give that as a question ताकि confusion ना हो, right? And then people might say कि यार ये तो गलत है. So they try not to do that, generally speaking. ठीक है? Whether yes, अब सिंपल मैथ्स भी लगा लो, 6 चैप्टर हैं, 40 मार्क है। इक्वली भी लगाओ तो you know how many marks each chapter would ideally have. Best case, okay? Let's go to Dr. Reddy's, दोस्त, right? Sakharam, not every company has a founder. और जो फाउंडर है लिखा तो है, ये देखो ऊपर लिखा है ख्वाजा हमीद ने शुरू करी थी, तो फाउंडर का नाम है, राइट? कहीं कहीं पे है, कहीं कहीं पे नहीं है। ओके, कूल। डॉक्टर रेड्डीज इंडियन मल्टीनेशनल फार्मा कंपनी, राइट? ज्यादा कुछ इसमें पढ़ने का है नहीं। आपका फिलोसफी आप पढ़ सकते हैं, वेयर यू हैव टू टॉक अबाउट एड्रेसिंग अनमेट पेशेंट नीड्स, ये सब इनकी फिलोसफी है। The good part will be you will not have to remember the names, please. Do not scratch your heads remembering the names of the brand like Nimesulidine क्या है, Ketorolac Theramidamine क्या है। भैया यही पढ़ना होता तो डॉक्टर बन जाते ना, right? So do not scratch your heads remembering the names of the brands, but just know what this company does, a few names, and that should be enough for Dr. Reddy's, right? Flipkart, headquarter सिंगापुर में है, ऑपरेशनल हेडक्वार्टर बैंगलोर में है। फाउंडर्स सचिन बंसल, बिन्नी बंसल। प्रेजेंट सीईओ कल्याण कृष्णमूर्ति, सीएफओ श्रीराम वेंकटरमन। ओके, now founded by this, it was the India ka Amazon. We know the story. It's an e-commerce company. It acquired Myntra, it acquired Jabong, it acquired this company. राइट। कौन सी कंपनीज को खरीद चुका है? मिंत्रा को खरीदा है, जबोंग, फोन पे, ई कार्ड, जीव्स, क्लियर ट्रिप, टू गुड, दीज आर द सब्सिडरीज, and that is what Flipkart is. One of the most successful startups of India, Flipkart, right? Flipkart is not a listed company. It's not on the stock exchange. It's a private limited company. It's not a public company. It's a private limited company, my friend. Okay, Ji? Very good. Let's go to the next one. GAIL India Limited, owned by the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Okay, incorporated in 1984 as Central Public Sector Undertaking PSU under the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Okay, it was formerly known as Gas Authority India Limited. Remember this. कितने मेगावाट का बिजली बनाता है, क्या पाइपलाइन है, कितने किलोमीटर है, नॉट नेसेसरी. But for your, from exam perspective, not necessary, but from your investor point of view, very necessary. ठीक है. अगर आप एज एन इन्वेस्टर पढ़ रहे हो तो आपको पता होना चाहिए कंपनी कितनी बड़ी है, क्या करती है. फ्रॉम एन एग्जाम परस्पेक्टिव, नॉट सो इम्पोर्टेंट. ओके. व्हाट इज इम्पोर्टेंट हियर इज सब्सिडरी नेम्स. व्हाट इज इम्पोर्टेंट हियर इज जॉइंट वेंचर नेम्स. ये देखो भैया, जॉइंट वेंचर देख रहे हो कितने हैं. क्लासिक क्वेश्चन पेपर बन जाएगा यहाँ से. तो आराम से एक क्वेश्चन बन सकता है यहाँ से. पेट्रोनेट एलएनजी लिमिटेड, इट इज अ जॉइंट वेंचर बिटवीन गेल एंड along with BPCL, ONGC and IOCL as equal partners. Right? Percentages याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है, but just remember it's a joint venture of GAIL India. Right? It's a joint venture of GAIL India Limited. नाम प्लीज याद रखना. Joint ventures is something that is frequently asked. From this, I as an examiner see a chance to cut your marks here because this is a tricky point in the chapter. Okay, very good. HDFC Bank Limited, right? Mumbai headquartered. It is registered in Mumbai. This. Kitni branches hai, kitne ATM, you don't need to remember. Okay, you don't need to remember that. But what you need to remember is a digital offerings. I'm sorry. Okay. A series of digital offerings like 10-second personal loan, Chiller, PayZapp, SME Bank, Watch Banking, 30-minute auto loan, 15-minute two-wheeler loan. These are offerings of HDFC Bank. These are the offerings of HDFC Bank, right? Business and news, time ho, to please पढ़ना. नहीं है time, you do not have time to study and revise that, you can skip that as well. Right? Will ICI ask chairman, CEO, CFO names and all as questions? Not necessary. बुक के पीछे के क्वेश्चंस देखे भी हैं किसी ने? I don't think so. I don't think so. You guys have ever even seen study material के पीछे के questions. If you would have seen, you would have never asked these questions to me. ठीक है? You have never asked these questions. Let me do that after this. आपको भी questions दिखाता हूँ. Right? Let me show you questions so that you know what to expect. After HDFC, let's do that. Okay. एक्वापन्ना आपका एक्वाफीना होगा दोस्त. एक्वापन्ना विल कम टू आईटीसी का है, किसका है? विल सी दैट. दैट विल बी इन एमटीबी 2022, राइट? तो बुक में भी होगा. विल सी दैट. दैट्स अ गुड क्वेश्चन दैट यू कॉल्ड आउट. ओके. व्हाट इज डोमिसाइल? स्वाति, व्हाट इज डोमिसाइल? यू टेल मी व्हाट इज डोमिसाइल. वी नो व्हाट इज डोमिसाइल. ये तो हमने 11th 12th में पढ़ा हुआ है. यू एंड मी ऑल्सो हैव अ डोमिसाइल. We should make our own notes. If you have time, मेहनत का मन है, please कर लो. वरना everything is available on the BOS app. You have the notes, you will have this study material and everything, right? Is GAIL a private or a public company? Great question. Great question. क्या लिखा है? Public sector undertaking. तो private company कैसी होगी दोस्त? साफ साफ लिखा है. It is public sector, सरकारी कंपनी है. इट्स गवर्नमेंट ओन्ड कंपनी, इट्स पब्लिक सेक्टर अंडरटेकिंग. प्राइवेट कैसे होगी? ठीक है जी. एचडीएफसी, ये चीजें याद रखनी है. क्वेश्चन कम्स For example, the question can come 30-minute auto loan and 15-minute two-wheeler loan are offerings of which bank? Axis, ICICI, HDFC. किसकी ऑफरिंग है? आप कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे यार, एक्सिस भी दे सकता है, आईसीआई भी दे सकता है, एचडीएफसी भी दे सकता है, बट ओनली व्हेन यू रिमेंबर that 30-minute auto loan and 15-minute two-wheeler loan are offerings of HDFC, you get a mark. Okay. Mission is to be the world-class Indian bank. Portfolio नहीं आएगा जिंदगी में, कभी नहीं आएगा क्वेश्चन, बिकॉज नाम में HDFC है, तो कोई इतना सिली क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछने वाला आपसे. ठीक है. बिफोर आई गो टू ICICI बैंक, आई एम सो क्यूरियस कि आप लोगों ने कभी स्टडी मटेरियल के पीछे के क्वेश्चंस ही नहीं देखे हैं. आ जाओ मैं दिखा देता हूँ. हु इज द प्रेजेंट चेयरमैन ऑफ HDFC बैंक? पूछा नाम, राइट? पूछा. डू आई नीड टू रिमेंबर द नेम्स? यस. All your questions, sir. Do I need to remember name of the CEO, CFO, incorporation year? Do I need to remember this? Yes. When was Reliance Industries Limited incorporated? Do I need to remember the date? Yes. Which pharma company has the slogan "Caring for Life"? Slogan याद करना पड़ेगा sir. Yes. Which gas company owns India's largest pipeline network? Storyline, key facts, cool facts about the company याद रखने पड़ेंगे sir. Yes. Where are the headquarters of ITC? Headquarters याद रखना पड़ेगा. Yes. State Bank of India was formerly known as. Cool fact about a company. Do I need to remember? Yes. J Murugan is the CFO of which company? CFO name याद रखना पड़ेगा. Yes. Right. Question पढ़ो दोस्त. Nestle is a beverage partner with which of the following companies? Joint ventures का नाम याद रखना पड़ेगा. Do I need to remember the names of the joint ventures? Yes. Where are the headquarters of Walmart? Headquarters याद रखना पड़ेगा. Yes. Do I need to remember the name of the founders? Yes. The major textile brand Vimal. Do I need to remember the name of a brand of a company? Like Dominar पढ़ रहे थे, Discover पढ़ रहे थे, from Bajaj. Do I need to remember the names of those brands in portfolio? Yes. है ना? Cool. मिल गया जवाब आपको. कितने क्वेश्चंस है पता है? 50 क्वेश्चंस हैं आपके लिए प्रैक्टिस के लिए. मॉक टेस्ट पेपर्स आएंगे. Right, you can Google search previous year questions. You can find previous year questions on Google search. Go do that. Practice, practice, practice. Google पे जाके लिखो previous year BCK questions. You'll get it. Right? You will get it. So, to all your doubts कि क्या question आएगा, कैसे पढ़ूं, read the questions and you get to know कि पढ़ना क्या है. Right? This helps. थक गए वैजय सिंह, बस करो. MCQ हमें समझ गए, हम सब पढ़ना है हमें. हाथ जोड़ लिया हमने. Will there be companies with 50% equal shares of government and private? Very rare. 50 से ऊपर ही होगा, वरना लड़ाई होती रहेगी. राइट. MD CMD फाउंडर के बारे में भी दिया हुआ है. यस, दिया हुआ है. कूल. लेट्स गो टू ICICI बैंक. ठीक है जी, लेट्स गो टू ICICI बैंक. वेटेज नहीं है दोस्त किसी भी चीज की. ओके. It's already 12:55. I'll do ICICI Bank and then we'll wrap up for today. We'll do rest of the companies and global companies in next 30-40 minutes in the next class, but you know how to study this chapter. So I know it's going to be a repeat, right? It will become boring अगर मैं सब companies के बारे में जाके same ही बोलूंगा that go and read philosophy, go and read this, but I will do that for sure, right? I don't want to skip this chapter कि अरे time बस बचा रहे हैं. No, we will do each of the companies. But now I just wanted to give you a context how to read this chapter, how to study this chapter, which I've done, right? Which I've done. Same for ICICI Bank. You don't need to remember the number of ATMs, the network of branches. You read the questions. It's about where is the headquarter of ICI? Who is the chairman of ICI? When was it incorporated? Right? Questions like The mission of to leverage our people, technology, and speed financial capital to expand the frontiers of our business globally is a mission of which bank, right? If I ask you that video banking app and preferred time delivery, e-locker, smart vault, iWealth, iMobile are banking services provided by which bank? The answer is ICICI Bank, right? You have to remember things like this from these companies, right? You understand now how to read chapter number 3. I will stop here. I will stop here for today, and I will spend next 4 or 5 minutes taking up any questions, any thoughts, anything that you want to share, right? And we'll use this time to solve any doubts and questions, anything that you feel I've missed answering. This is your time. Ask right now, right? And let's do that. For those who have understood, have got the concept clear, you're good to go and enjoy your Sunday, friends, right? जाओ enjoy करो, बहुत हो गया आज के लिए 2 घंटे पीसी के. Don't touch the book today. Go and enjoy your Sunday, right? For others who have some doubts and questions, I am here for the next 4 or 5 minutes. Ask your questions, ask your doubts, anything that you feel is missed and you want to ask, let's do that. They've already attempted in June to make it. Could you please give me some tip for December? God of practice. Practice. You know where you lacked, right? You know better than anyone कि क्या चीज मिसिंग रह गई थी, उसको कवर अप करो. प्रैक्टिस प्रैक्टिस प्रैक्टिस, राइट? दर्शिका, ये आपने क्वेश्चन पूछा है, स्टेटमेंट भेजिए, मेरे को समझ नहीं आया. It is lengthy chapter but very important for knowledge. Absolutely right. Are MD and chairperson the same? Most of the times no, but chairman, MD, CEO, ये सब depends on the company how they want to name their people. It's a personal choice. There's no hard and fast rule that the company has to follow. The CEO can also be an MD. The MD can also be a chairperson, right? So it depends on the company how they want to name their top management. Whole book is important for the exam. वो तो मैं शुरू से ही बोल रहा हूँ. Business and news is important. Majority no. आप देखोगे none of the questions come from there. So probably if you don't have time, skip that. SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. Identify your strength, your weaknesses, use them to exploit opportunity and threat. अपनी ताकतें जानते हो, अपनी शक्तियां जानते हो, अपनी कमजोरी जानते हो, उसको यूज करो. कोई अपॉर्चुनिटी है मार्केट में, उससे पैसा बनाने के लिए कैसे यूज करूं मैं अपनी स्ट्रेंथ, उसको बोलते हैं स्वॉट एनालिसिस. ठीक है जी. इज इट एनफ टू स्टडी बीसीके ऑन सैटरडेज एंड संडेज ओनली? हाँ दर्शिका, फॉर श्योर. अगर आपको पास नहीं होना है तो हाँ. But depends on your timetable, right? If you feel you're confident, then it's fine. I'm just joking, right? But if you are confident, then nothing like it. You should be confident, not me. It's not a history subject again, right? Who Facebook का founder कौन है? Mark Zuckerberg. How do you know that? Why do you know that? Elon Musk. कैसे जानते हो? क्यों जानते हो? Right? You know the famous people, तो वो history नहीं है. अगर आपको अपनी कंपनीज के बारे में पढ़ना पड़ जाए तो वो हिस्ट्री है, आप रट्टा करवा रहे हो, राइट? जो मीम बन रहा है वो हम नाम याद रखेंगे, जो मीम नहीं बन रहा है यार हमें क्यों पढ़ना पड़ रहा है सिलेबस के लिए. वेरी गुड. व्हाट अ दोगलापन. इट्स अ क्वेश्चन बट दैट्स नॉट अ क्वेश्चन दर्शक. इसमें क्वेश्चन क्या है? अंडर आईसीआई एक्ट. हाँ, यस, अंडर आईसीआई एक्ट. द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ आईसीआई इज अंडर आईसीआई एक्ट. Outside questions are coming in the paper? No, not possible. If it's coming, do highlight, do tell me. Business news important? No. Are private bank companies too? Yes. Chapter 2 की PPT I will just check. I've uploaded. Let me check. It should be there. आपको मिल जाएगी आज. मैं अपलोड कर चुका हूँ. लेट मी चेक विद टेक्निकल टीम वंस. ओके. हाउ कैन वी रिमेंबर ईच एंड एवरी ईयर? जितना हो सकता है उतना करो. That's what I would say. Do as much as you can, but do not scratch your heads. Do not waste your precious, crucial time remembering the years. If you find it easy to remember years, some of those, more than enough. Okay. Is every shareholder a co-owner of the given company? Then why they are not asked by the company for future and upcoming decisions? They are asked. If you buy shares, you get email कि हम ये decision लेने वाले हैं. Do you agree or not? Every decision is asked from shareholders. You have to vote yes or no. If you are an investor and if you know stock market, it happens. Okay. You can easily cover Nandini, right? You had started now studying. How can you get all the syllabus? Focus karo. You have ample time. You have ample time. Do not stress. No, I don't. I don't read books which are useless. Though. No BCK classes on the weekdays because we want to ruin your weekends. मजा आता है. We are sadist people. We want to ruin your weekend. हमें Saturday Sunday बर्बाद कर दो इन लोगों का. That is why we do on weekends. Incorporation is important. Yes. Is it going to be MCQ? MCQ होगा. बिल्कुल होगा. MCQ ही होगा. Right. Were there any questions about me last class? Can we expect any exemption in December because it's the last attempt of full syllabus? Can we expect? I am not the right person to tell you what to expect. Right? I am here to tell you please study. If there is no exception or exemption, then देना तो पड़ेगा ही. So better be prepared. Be proactive than being reactive. It is an MCQ exam. Yes, it is an MCQ exam. Perfect, Amit. Great. With that, let's wrap up for today. I'll see you next weekend. Right? I'll see you next weekend. We will complete chapter 3 फटाफट से करेंगे. And then we will jump off to chapter number 4, which is again interesting in terms of getting to know the facilitators of our businesses. Or we are going to know about what business policies are. We're also going to learn about terminologies of business. Couple of good 3 chapters coming up for you. We will see you over the next weekend. I'll take up all the questions by then. Thanks everyone for joining. I'll see you next weekend. Take care. Bye.